get enough of neo-operatic breakbeat.
Do you listen to Cale Bent and the Lettuce Works?
Only every day.
But there's a better chance your local Geico agent could help you out with insurance. They'll work hard to provide sound advice and significant savings. You don't need a hip, underground music scene to do that. Local Geico agents. Call or visit yours today.
There are people who say things aren't made here anymore. Those people should make a trip to Michigan, or Kentucky, or Illinois, where you'll find our workers and dealers and engineers and technicians building at the Ford Motor Company, the same way we have for over a century, in the same place, for the same reason. Built for America.
BetMGM Book Bar and Grill is the South's premier destination for high-energy sports entertainment. Enjoy award-winning food and a wide variety of draft beer selections with a local flair. Featuring a giant video wall, dozens of HD TVs, and a smoke-free video poker bar. There's no better place to be for sports entertainment. Believe in your game at BetMGM Book Bar and Grill, only at Beau Rivage. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
ACI Facility Support provides facility maintenance and construction services for hundreds of clients in South Louisiana. Visit ACI Facility Support today to find out why they are the preferred choice. One call can solve all of your building problems. Contact ACI Facility Support, 383-3434.
Many people are injured and can't afford to get the treatment they need because insurance companies won't pay until a case is closed. I'm attorney Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
Offices in Baton Rouge.
104.5 WNXX Jackson, 104.9 KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour is brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com. 1045ESPN Baton Rouge.
Hey, it's Dorian Oka. Join me and Mel Kiper Jr. for Dorian Mel Saturday mornings at 8 on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. on Tuesday, August 11th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see partly cloudy skies with a high of 94. Coming up today on Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota, LSU head football coach Ed Orgeron joins us at 7:30. Derek Stingley Sr. stops by at 8 a.m. and Nick Underhill talks Saints at 8:30. Remember, we have our OTB mailbag today. Get your questions in. Tweet them, ask them in the huddle, or on the YouTube live chat using the hashtag OTB mailbag, and we'll get them answered at 8:15. You can follow today's show by joining us inside the 1045 ESPN Huddle app, brought to you by Bayou Ford on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. Get over to the 1045 ESPN YouTube channel, watch us live, and subscribe to the Off the Bench YouTube channel for new content posted daily. Hour number 1 of OTB starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Off and at it off the bench, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN Radio in New Orleans, 94.7 ESPN Alexandria. We are online at 104.5 ESPN.com on your smart speakers. We're on YouTube this morning. Remember, search the 104.5 ESPN station to see what's happening on YouTube. You can watch live here off the bench until 10 a.m. 7:30 this morning. LSU head football coach going to make his first public comments, Ed Orgeron, here on OTB on the state of the game right now. I don't know why, T, but I feel positive today. I feel like they're going to play.
Yeah, we were talking about it before the show.
Reason,
I think trying to parse through it, I think the reason would be the groundswell of support that you saw from every area that was not a university president, right? So your athletic directors, your football coaches, your politicians, and a lot of times, and very importantly, the players. Right? I mean, the players are the ones. The fact that the players came out so forcefully. Was it Sunday night now? It was a long Monday. The fact that they came out so forcefully and emphatically Sunday night, I think, gave a free pass to a lot of these people in power to be like, look, we're not forcing these kids to play. They want to play. And so now they can advocate for that. And that's why we'll talk about it today. All of a sudden, a liability or a waiver seems like maybe the quickest path to the field. And remember, when we talk about waiver, we were talking about some of the moral and ethical problems with it. But now it's like players are willingly saying, no, we will. Najee Harris says, I will sign a waiver if it means that I can play. So this is a crazy story that continues to twist and turn.
Ogeron will be here at 7:30. We'll talk to Derek Stingley Sr. in his typical spot, 8 o'clock on a Tuesday morning. Coach Sting will stop by here an hour from now. 8:30, we'll talk Saints with Nick Underhill from New Orleans Football. As the Saints are in training camp, we will talk to Underhill about some storylines that are happening over there. 10 o'clock hour. T-Bob is going to drink a beef fizz.
A Biff Fizz?
That's exactly right. I don't know how to say it. You know why? Because I'm out of it.
Yeah, Jordy is a coward and doesn't want to join me on the beef fizz train, as neither do Danny or Musso. But this is me making good on what I said I would do if we hit 9K on YouTube. So I will be creating and drinking a beef fizz live on air. It's beef broth, lemon juice, and I think some ginger beer or ginger ale or something. So that's going to be fun. And then, look, we are like, what, Danny, 30 away? We're 30 away from 10K on the Off the Bench YouTube. And if you go there and help us hit 10K, me and Jordy will eat the hottest wings we can find in Baton Rouge live on air and try to do a segment.
And that's 10,000 real people. That's not all the robots that like Moscona stuff.
Okay.
Here's your headlines on this Tuesday, August 11th.
Headlines on Off the Bench.
Yesterday in college football, what a news cycle. And the latest seems like it's the same. A statement from Scott Woodward, Director of Athletics over at LSU, as he said, we remain steadfast in our approach in the Southeastern Conference, taking all available time to gather as much information as possible in order to make informed decisions. We're united in our process and on our focus on the safety and well-being of our student athletes. The recent flood of reports surrounding college athletics does not alter that approach. As we have said since the beginning, we are patiently working through each and every variable, following the direction of our Return to Safety and Medical Guidance Task Force. I believe our student athletes want to play. We owe it to them to make every effort to do that safely. A lot of people were speaking on Monday, including head coach of Ohio State, Ryan Day, which said his group wanted to play as well.
You know, in the meantime, there's a lot of other things that are going to come up along the way that we think we can keep getting better at. You know, this virus changes every day. We're learning about it. We're learning more about testing. Testing's getting better every day. And we've created a really good environment here, and I think we can keep getting it better and keep talking throughout the conference and throughout the country on how to make it better and share ideas. And because things are happening so fast, I just think a little bit of time would go a long way.
Nick Saban made a public statement yesterday as he was quoted in saying it's more important than ever to engage your players, and if you're not, then you're not doing your job as a coach. We will hear from Ed Ogeron, the national champion head coach, coming up here at 7:30 this morning. Several LSU players, including future first-round pick Jamar Chase, took to Twitter on Sunday night to join the hashtag We Want to Play movement after other top players in college football got the hashtag trending. Heather Dinich of ESPN is reporting that the Big Ten is expected to make another decision on its college football season today, but the impact of it could vary widely as league presidents are considering pushing back the start of the season to September 26th or postponing it till spring. That was a conference that's according to ESPN. The presidents are expected to meet at 9:30 this morning, and all they are still considering becoming the first Power 5 conference to postpone fall sports. The majority of the athletic directors said they aren't ready to pull the plug just yet.
We'll see, man. Yeah, it's going to be a fascinating kind of battle between everybody that mentioned, coaches, players, ADs, politicians versus these school presidents, and then the main at the heart of it all, as we said yesterday, liability. Who will be liable? Can these schools get out of that liability that they are so afraid of? Should they?
New Orleans Pelicans are 2-4 in the bubble and were eliminated on Sunday when they lost to San Antonio, and then Portland defeated Philadelphia. The Kings were also eliminated by Portland's victory before they took a loss to the Rockets on Sunday night, dropping them to 1-5 over in Disney World. With nothing at stake Tuesday night, the teams will err on the side of holding out players with any ailment. As a result, New Orleans will not play Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram, and Drew Holiday. Nor Sacramento will not play De'Aaron Fox or Marvin Bagley.
Yeah.
The Kings also listed Kent Bazemore. Remember Bazemore?
I remember him on the Hawks, I think.
Didn't he play for the Pelicans for a minute?
I don't know. I remember him being really good on.
No?
You remember that Hawks team that won like 20 games in a row that one season with actually Budenholzer, the Bucks coach. So I think Bazemore was good on that team. That's all I remember.
Only if you're tuning into this one at 7:00.
How happy?
You got action on it.
Well, I'm gonna watch just because.
Are you really?
I want to see the. I have a problem.
It's over.
I have a problem. No,
Yeah,
I
you
know.
do.
I told you. I came to the realization last week that like I'm like a Browns fan. Like the same people that I've always made fun of because I'm like, why do you commit your time to this? Why do you do this? Like that's me. I've always made fun of them, and yet I had to look in the mirror and have some real conversations.
It's like me
myself.
grinding midweek baseball.
Yes, exactly. I want to see the pieces going forward who can kind of put their best foot forward. That said, who's happier than TNT to have that game? Oh. I mean, you're talking about the belief that the NBA had in the Pelicans and Zion. They had this game against the Kings for TNT, and now you're getting nobody.
I mean,
two
really,
worthless teams with not even the only interesting parts played.
Really, you could argue that they played these final 8 regular season games because of the Pelicans.
There was a lot of, yeah.
Like they just made up this format for Zion to get in.
There's a lot of push. They
They've
wanted to
been
see him in the
playing.
bubble.
7:00 tonight, tip-off between the Pelicans and the Kings. That'll feature T-Bob as your starting center for New Orleans.
That'd be awesome.
Alvin Kamara, who
Hit me up,
turned
y'all.
25 2 weeks ago, is in a contract year. He was on a conference call with the New Orleans Saints yesterday. He finished last season with 728 rushing yards, 826 receiving yards. How about this? In his first 3 years, he has finished exactly every single year with 81 catches.
Wow. What an odd, weird statistical quirk.
Here is Kamara updating his status of his contract.
Yeah, as far as the contract goes, I'm not really focused on that. My main focus this offseason was getting back healthy. You know, I had a rocky year last year dealing with injuries. So I've dealt with that, got back healthy, and I'm here now. Just trying to get back in the swing, trying to navigate what's going on with this Corona thing, and you know, just focus on what we got to do as a team to be able to overcome this. You know, so contract it'll happen when it happens. I'm not really too concerned with it.
We'll ask Nick about this because he has more of the specific numbers, Jordy. But if you look at last year, it's real easy to just kind of remember Kamara not being himself throughout the entirety of the year. But there is a clear line in that week 4 injury. Like there's a line of before and after where he was dominating really better than he ever had before in his career, and then it all just fell off a cliff. So you did not get the true Alvin Kamara last season. Now he switched to a plant-based diet. Says he focused everything on getting his legs, which are already super strong, even bigger, stronger, more flexible. Like this seems like a player that is fully motivated, and I love how he's approaching the contract. He's saying, "Look, man, that'll take care of itself. That's not where my focus is." I told my agent, "You got that. Only talk to me if something gets serious. I'm just here to play."
Kamara has also changed his stature. Is one thing that will jump out is he has gotten thick.
But I'm saying, them legs, dude, them legs were already, he's already one of the best tackle breakers in the entirety of the NFL.
And his balance.
Yes, exactly. And
Here
all
he
that
is.
looks like it could be even better.
Here he is talking about the transformation.
Yeah, it definitely has been. You know, any type of lower extremity injury, whether it be knee, ankle, hip, anything. I think, once you get out of playing mode and you get into recovery mode, it's kind of like, all right, what can we focus on to, strengthen whatever was injured and strengthen what's around it. So, working with my trainer, Sharif, down in Miami, that's every year.
Sharif.
But, we really locked in and focused on trying to, just fortify my ankles, knees, hips, just create some more flexibility, mobility, strengthen, obviously, those ligaments in my knee. And, create some more stability, more than I already had, and we did a good job of that. So I feel good, and I'm excited about being able to get back to playing how I know I can play.
Kamara, 25 years old in contract season.
When I sit down and think about it, I don't know if there's a player on the Saints roster that I'm more excited to see this season than Alvin Kamara, just with the money year and how everything's lining up. And a year removed from the absence of Mark Ingram, right? I feel like he felt that a bit last year. Now he's had a full off season to deal with it and to approach the season as he is going to be the man. And there's a lot of reasons to be very excited.
You know who feels like he's getting right?
Yeah.
Davenport.
Yeah.
Marcus Davenport's had a really good offseason.
And the numbers, again, we can ask Nick, but the numbers on Davenport are really good on a per-play basis. It's just that the injuries have kept him off the field a lot of times.
All right, we'll talk Saints with Nick Underhill coming up in the second hour today. 8:30, Underhill will stop by here on Off the Bench. We'll talk to Derek Stingley Sr. at 8 a.m. this morning. Coach Ed Ogeron, first public comment, 7:30 this morning. You got a question for Coach O? We got one from Eric Taylor asking about Jarrell Cherry. We'll get across to the head coach here in 15 minutes. If you got a question for Ogeron, hashtag Coach O, ask Coach O. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're inside the huddle, OTB rolling every day by All-Star Toyota.
Off the Bench with Jordy Culotta and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Central Plumbing Company bringing you OTB daily here. Remember, 925-8552 is the phone number. Convenient to you. Should have that stored into your cell phone, into your contacts list. If not, make sure and make that happen. Central Plumbing Company, if you need residential or commercial plumbing services, they're going to take care of that for you today. 925-8552 is the phone number. They're online, centralplumbing.org. They can sell and install you a full home generator today as well. It's the off season. If you experienced a lot of rain, lost some power here during the summertime, and next time the rain comes through, you don't want to lose power, get in touch with Central Plumbing Company about a generator today. 925-8552.
925-8552, centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. I want to jam that into your head so whenever you have a plumbing problem, you're not like, oh, God, where do I go? What do I do? Trust the people who have been at it for over 40 years. And it's not just your homes. If you have an office building or a business you need your plumbing needs met, they can help you out as well. They're a one-stop plumbing shop. They do it all. centralplumbing.org.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Prompt, professional, reliable. If you're looking for a breath of fresh air with your AC and heating needs, call the professionals at Anison Bitter. Anison Bitter, a Rheem Pro partner, keeping your family comfortable for over 25 years.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Service Mastery Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Mastery Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Mastery Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every...
Yo, join us for a Tuesday edition of Hanging with Hester and Handy, presented by Richards Honda. Hunt Palmer sits in with us for an hour, and of course, we'll keep you up to date with what's going on in college football on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
I got a couple questions coming in for the head coach. Remember, hop inside the huddle, drop in the hashtag Ask Coach O to get your questions in, as the head coach of the LSU football team will be here in 12 minutes.
So President Trump's on Clay Travis right now. And
he's on with Clay Travis?
Yeah. Travis was tweeting about it this morning that he got the call that the president was going to come on at 8 a.m. He's smart. I mean, look, everybody in that equation, smart on all fronts. For Outkick, for the president, for everybody. He knows who butters his bread, right?
Sure.
There's a reason why he went to the LSU Bama game last year and everything. But apparently, according to Nookie in the huddle, he said, quote, "How about Coach O? Straight out of Central Casting." I mean, if you're making a football movie, you got to have Coach O, right? So the President Trump, Coach O, love affair continues. And Coach O has been one of the voices out there consistently from the beginning saying that college football should be played. So I'm excited to hear what he has to say today.
Yeah, me too, because he has, like you said, kind of at one point positioned himself a couple of weeks back as becoming kind of the voice to getting back onto the field. And you could feel the support for definitely people around the region and around this area supporting that. And we got some good questions coming in from some of the listeners that will ask Coach O coming up here in a couple of minutes. T, for whatever reason, as depressing as the weekend was concerning the news around college football, and yesterday was kind of a whirlwind, man. I mean, it was every time you refreshed your social media, it was something different. I mean, we were talking about the story where Feldman had yesterday, where he had like Iowa, Michigan, and other schools reaching out to the SEC about joining the conference, or the Big Ten, the Big 12 for joining the conference. And I mean, it was.
I mean, Scott Frost straight up talked about that.
It was a crazy, wild news cycle that continues to develop. I mean, we're still in it. I mean, I don't want to speak of it as if it's in the rearview mirror, as if it's over. Like we said inside headlines. I mean, there's a scheduled meeting today with Big Ten presidents coming up at 9:30 this morning, where you'd imagine some type of news would be developed and would come out from there. We did not see the scenario that we anticipated yesterday morning that we were reporting when I got off air. I know T had an extra hour up until 10 o'clock before I got out of here at 9 o'clock. But when I got out of here at 9, it looked like college football was going to be dead by noon.
Yeah, it was the same thing. I mean, it was the same thing. The stories were just breaking. It seems like some stuff was off base. Or I don't know. You never know what to trust here, because I'm sure that like there was a decision maker that told McMurphy that there was a 10-2 vote, right? Or was the Dan Patrick report that we had cited? But I like is the Big Ten lying and saying that they didn't have a vote? Was it more informal so they can get away with it, saying, well, like wasn't an official vote? Either way, when I look at this story, I think the Big Ten probably did reach that decision not to play. And then, Jordy, I think they floated a little bit of a trial balloon, or maybe somebody went rogue, but either way, a trial balloon was floated. And in the court of public opinion, I think the Big Ten maybe thought that there was a chance that they would be kind of applauded or heralded. And certainly that has happened in some circles. And maybe it's just the echo chamber that I live in. But to me, it felt like the majority of the response yesterday was anything but applause. It was that they were acting independently. They were acting rashly. That, why? I mean, you're planning on starting your season at the beginning of September. Why not do what other conferences has done? Delay to the end of September, if not later. Like, why make an entire decision on all of fall sports right now when there's so much that you don't know? Like even Coach Saban said, like, look, I mean, it's still, there's still stuff we don't know. And this still could change. Like, what happens when students get back on campus? How does that all go? Like, there's a lot you have to figure out, and there's no reason, it wouldn't appear at least, to kind of wait and try to figure that out without painting yourself into the corner. And that's what it felt like they did a bit yesterday. Kevin Warren and the Big Ten president felt like they painted themselves into a corner.
Nick Saban told ESPN, I want to play, but I want to play for the players' sake, the value they can create for themselves. I know I'll be criticized no matter what I say, that I don't care about the players' safety. Look, players are a lot safer with us than they are running around at home. We have around 2% positive ratio on our team since the 4th of July. It's a lot higher than that in society. We act like these guys can't get this unless they play football. They get it anywhere, whether they're in a bar or just hanging out. That was Nick Saban to ESPN yesterday, talking about the his stance on where he is as far as getting back on the field.
And he raises a couple of interesting points. I think he might have gone on to talk a little bit about like going to class. That's where the real worry comes in, because you're going to have all these different students, and this is where there seems to be a bit of a disconnect, Jordy, in my opinion, between the Big Ten presidents, what they're saying is the motivation for making this decision, and then what the facts actually may be, because they are framing this all about protecting player safety, right? Well, as Jim Harbaugh said yesterday, what I believe it was, as I find exactly here in my notes, I think it was 300. Okay, yeah. So they have had zero. Michigan has had 0 positive tests of the last 353 administered. They've had 0 positive tests among coaches and staff that have been there for over 8 weeks of testing. And there's all kinds of data from each of these schools, at least the ones that are approaching it like Michigan did, like LSU did, really attacking it head on, that would support that players would actually be safer in that structured environment. And that's where maybe I disagree, because they're not going to be at home. They'll be at school. But rather than like an off-season environment at school, the structure of football right now could help keep them safer. So the fact that the Big Ten is saying that, well, players say we shouldn't play, to me, that's not entirely true. It speaks to more of liability. But then even about the going to class thing, right? Like, if it really was all about keeping players safe, the ideal path forward would to be create some sort of a bubble. It would to probably do online courses and then have the players go to, or have the players on campus. They go to class online, but they're on campus. They're playing football. The problem with that is they desperately want to protect the amateurism, right? It's not really about the player safety. It's about protecting amateurism. And the bottom line is they can't have football players required to be on campus if all other students are going to be off. So I guess it just feels like a little bit the motivations that they are putting forward publicly seem to fall when viewed, when really looked at. They seem to kind of fall apart, and you see some of the true motivations that are lying beneath.
Yeah, the whole thing to me, like I told you before the show, feels like it's politicized. I mean, the whole thing feels like it has become politicized, and for whatever reason, yesterday I thought that when they put the feeler out, I guess they leaked the information that they were going to shut down the season, and they got the PR information back. Like, they got the PR piece back that we're getting crushed.
Yeah.
We're out there getting slammed. Well, you know what? Then we got to pull back and we got to come up with a new plan, because to me, T, they have been sideswiped by this player unionization.
Mm-hmm.
And it has thrown them for a loop as far as their organization on how they're going to look when the season kicks off. So they're hiding under the veil of medical clearance or medical protection for the student athletes, when you know it better than anybody, T. You've been one. I mean, it's not the forefront of what they're thinking about. They're not really thinking about your protection every single time you take the field. It's really dollars and cents.
Well, they're more they're thinking about the liability.
Dollars and
It's like
cents.
there's a lot
Exactly.
of anonymous quotes that Ross Dillon just put out there where administrators are like, yeah, so if this goes through and then a kid dies on your watch, you're fired forever and you have no career left. So, yeah, I mean, that's it's about liability and protecting amateurism.
And I think that's...
And not to say that health isn't any part, because it is.
It
It
is.
absolutely is. I mean, I don't want to make light of that, but it's just, this is a
It's not the
weird time.
centerpiece.
It's a weird time where if that was the centerpiece, then you'd have to acknowledge the numbers that show that in a lot of cases, players are more safe in the structure of that football building than they are in the general public.
And you understand the liability of playing football. When you get off the bus, when you take the field, there's an inherent risk of playing that game of a piece of danger. And you understand that. It's time to play football. LSU head football coach Ed Ogeron next.
Off the Bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
Brought to you daily by All-Star Toyota. Remember, get in touch with All-Star Toyota on the corner of Goodwood and Airline. You can find them there. You can shop them online at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com. Lee Carney has put together a fantastic team over there. Been together since 2005 on the corner of Airline and Goodwood. Online, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. They got 0% APR for 60 months on Toyota Corollas right now. You can shop a new Corolla, a pre-owned or certified Corolla, or all of the inventory online at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
Yeah, so pre-owned or, like George said, a Toyota certified pre-owned vehicle in which you get things that you normally only get when you buy new, right? You want that warranty coverage where, like, all you have to do is worry about putting gas in it, and they take care of everything else. If anything else breaks down on you, you can get that with All-Star Toyota. I got that on the minivan. It's great, dude. The peace of mind is awesome. So what are you waiting for, man? Buying from them was such a great process. It changed my life. Literally, go to allstartoyotabatteries.com.
Off the Bench, hanging with Hester and Hanny. After further review and more are all live daily on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube page. Subscribe now to interact with us inside the live chat. Find highlights for each show's channel and get notified whenever we go live.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
This is big. Really big. I mean really, really, really big. Because Honda's summer clearance event is going on right now at Richards Honda. With 0 to the 4th power on brand new Honda Civics. That's 0 down, 0 due at signing, 0 security deposit, and 0 first month payment. Plus, summer clearance on every new vehicle in stock. Just another reason why people call Richards Honda the smart choice. I-12 at Millerville Road and richardshonda.com.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as a bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey, T-Bob, sports wouldn't be the same without the die-hard fans, so we're highlighting the fans that do it the most.
Every week, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge brings you the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week. Check it out, 104.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Conference presidents across the Power 5 are set to meet. We'll have all the recap and reaction Tuesday. Join us 3 to 6. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This is Coach O, and you are listening to my favorite radio show, Off the Bench, with Jordy and T-Bob, right here on ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and Alexandria. Go Tigers.
Every Tuesday, right here on Off the Bench, we link up with the best football coach in college football. Reigning national champs, defending national champs, will they get back out on the field? The last 24 hours of the college football news cycle has been a whirlwind, and I know that Coach Orgeron is an advocate for blocking out the noise and is a master of that. Coach, it's good to have you back here on a Tuesday morning. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, guys. What a great day, man. We had an excellent practice yesterday. Our guys had a great mindset. So proud of our football team. We're still going through some football school. We got this week left. We start camp on next Monday. We're not blinking.
You are a master of creating positive environments and positive vibes, Coach. How have you done that around your team over the last 48 hours?
First of all, you got to address it and know it's out there. And but as far as the SEC, as far as I know, we're still gathering information. We're still fighting to play. We want to play. We've always spoke like we wanted to play. And I believe in our commissioner. I believe in our athletic director. I believe in our presidents. And that I know that we're going to do the right thing for our players, safety first. But I do believe with Dr. Katie O'Neill, with Shelley, with Jack, we have the best care for our players that they can get anywhere. Our players feel safe. I know that our players and most of the players around the country want to play. But I do believe that we need to continue and let the process take its place, continue on, and then make a proper decision when time comes. The easiest thing to do right now is say no. But we want to compete for our players and find out what's best for them. Now, at the end, if our players can't play, I'm for one that's not going to put them in harm's way, and they know that. So we're going to find out the best thing that we can do for our players, and obviously we're going to listen to our presidents and our commissioners, and I have 100% confidence that they're going to make the right decision.
Coach, you mentioned the player support, and you guys have been great on that. How does the conversation go with a guy like Neil Farrell who opts out?
Neil's grandma got sick, and he was very close to his grandmother, and he wanted to go back home and be with her. And what I told him? I said, Neil, go home. We told you we're going to do that. Come back next year. Come back in great shape and have a great senior year. He said, okay, Coach, thank you.
That environment and that facility they're in every day, Coach, we've heard coaches around the country speak it. You guys have almost been a model of keeping that place clean and developing a procedure. You're very passionate that they're probably safest right there, right?
I turned on the TV last night for the first time in a long time, and the first thing I saw was an interview with our parents on TV saying how much safer they are with us than they are at home, and they believe in what we're doing. So that's a testament to what's going on. And I do believe that Shelley and Jack and Scott Woodward have put us in the best position. Our players feel safe. Yes, players catch the COVID, but we'll test, and as soon as they do, we'll give them the best care that they can. Most of our guys that caught COVID were asymptomatic. They came back. We put them in proper quarantine, 9 to 10 days, whatever that may be. And our team seems like we're in good shape for now. I do believe we have very few guys that have it, and our guys are practicing very well with a great mindset.
So let's talk about that practice. We're talking to LSU head football coach Ed Orgeron here on Off the Bench. Coach, football school continues. What stage in the process are y'all currently at? What does a practice look like that took place yesterday?
You know, yesterday, Bob, our emphasis was coming out. You know, we take each situation. We say we want to be situational masters. Obviously, we're still installing first down blitzes. Tomorrow will be third down blitzes. Tomorrow will be 4 minutes. But we have an emphasis of the day. We walk through it. Our guys are going through position drills, getting them better, ongoing skill development. We filming everything. We graded everything just like it was a real practice. The energy level was very high. I'll say this to you. Saturday morning, we had one of the best practices we've had during all of football school.
Wow.
And it goes to show you the mindset of our football team. And I walked off the field and felt like if it was Wednesday, we'd be prepared to play anybody in the country.
Wow, strong statement there from Coach O. So what about the physicality of practice? What stage are we in there? Like, how are you judging these linemen in a more limited contact setting?
Yeah, you can't. You know, it's not. I mean, you don't have no helmets on. You have no cleats on. And, you know, it's a walk-through deal, T-Bob. There's no hitting. There's nothing at all. But, you know, I'll give you an example for Liam. As far as getting the assignments down, getting his blitzes down, changing the spot, making the call, his footwork, his drills, and everything that we see, his snaps to the quarterback have been fantastic.
And what's that communication like as a whole, not just on the offensive line, but how do you feel like it's been on the offense as a whole, given that you are working in a new center, a new quarterback? Obviously, communication is going to be key to making everything work on that side of the ball.
Yeah, set Hut, throw the ball to Jamar. I will say
there's a lot of truth to that. There's a lot of truth to that.
Our running back was very well, very good. Terrence Marshall looks good. I really like our young receivers. I think these guys are going to fit in, be great. We're as athletic as tight end as we've ever been. Eric Gilbert starting to come into his own. Rachel McMath's looking good. Overall, I think we're very, very talented. I know we're very talented on offense.
Coach, you brought up Jamar, and Jimmy Chase was here last week, and he had a fantastic quote on you talking about everything that you told him in recruiting that was going to happen with Jamar has happened, and you kept him abreast of everything that was going on and guys that you were bringing in. Then we talked to Derek Stingley Sr. every Tuesday here. He'll be here in 20 minutes, and he talked about the relationship you have. How important is it to keep the relationship with your parents, not only of your key players, but of your whole team? And how does that communication work between you and the players' parents?
So first of all, during the recruiting process, that's one of the parts I love about my job is meeting great people. And those are great parents, and I love them. We have fun together. We joke. But, you know, their most prized possession is their children, and I know that by being a parent. So we're going to sit down, and I'm going to talk to them about the things that I do believe that they want and in the recruiting process that they want to happen to their son. And it's pretty standard across the board when we recruit great players. And those things have happened here at LSU. So I presented them a plan that I thought the things that could happen would happen, and thank God that they did. But you know what? They're the ones that make it happen. We present the plan, they make it happen, and those parents couldn't be more loyal to our program. And, you know, Jimmy's a great guy, but I also love Mr. Leah. Mr. Leah, his wife was instrumental in letting Jamar come to school here. And Coach Stingley and his wife and his whole family were very supportive of us. And as you know, Derek Stingley's daddy's a coach. He's coached Derek the whole time. He's done a tremendous job, and he's a friend of our programs.
Coach, your reaction to your schedule or the two games that came out added to the schedule last week with another trip to Nashville and then Missouri making the trip to Baton Rouge?
Yeah, you know, like I said, it don't matter who we play. We're ready to play. Those are the two teams on our schedule. We're playing the SEC. 10 great SEC games. Be challenging for our football team. We're ready. I know our fans are excited. Missouri's coming to town here. We're going to Vanderbilt. Those are the two teams we're playing. Let's buckle up on any given day. Whenever any given day, the Tigers have to have their hands up and be ready to play football.
Talking to Coach Ed Orgeron here on Off the Bench. Coach, you mentioned wanting to be situational masters. When y'all are breaking down film after games, or maybe even after the season ends, do you break it down by situation? Like how do you identify the kind of key situations that you then want to bring to the practice field?
See, about one of the things I wanted to look at last year, and then Bobby April brought this to my attention, is pre-snap penalties. And as you know, pre-snap penalties kill the drive.
Yep.
2 years ago on offense, we had 22 pre-snap penalties, and we only overcame those pre-snap penalties with a touchdown twice.
Wow.
We had 4 pre-snap penalties against Texas A&M in the red zone, and we scored no points. That's the year we lost to them.
Wow.
Okay? So as a football coach, that's where I got to get better. Last year, we had only 8 pre-snap penalties on offense.
Wow.
But we were good enough to overcome those with touchdowns 5 or 8 times.
Yeah.
We're probably one of the most prolific offenses in the history of college football. So, looking for pre-snap penalties, obviously field position, time of possession, always the turnover ratio is the first thing I look at. And you know what? Great in effort, man, but playing hard. Playing LSU Tiger football.
Hashtag Ask Coach O from a fan. Coach, will Jarrell Cherry play as a defensive end or defensive tackle?
He can play both. That's a good question. He's playing defensive end on the first and second down situation, and then our nickel and sub packages. He can play inside on third down, putting our faster guys inside.
Hashtag Ask Coach O. Coach, how big of a role will Mo Hampton play this season?
Yeah, I think he has a chance to start. I mean, right now he's considered a starter. We like to rotate our guys. But, we feel like we got some excellent safeties there. But, Todd Harris coming back, Jacoby Stevens, Mo Hampton. And then watch out for Jordan Toles, man. He's having an excellent camp as a young man.
Ask Coach O, if the season is postponed, are you concerned about practice burnout? And I don't think he means postponed till the spring. He means just pushed back like a bit later in the fall.
My mind don't think that way.
Ask Coach O, how is Todd Harris? You mentioned him recovering from his ACL.
He's doing well. He cannot go through everything. As you know, those knees, they swell up a little bit, get a little swelling in them. So we need to take it easy on him. But as far as conditioning and work hard, he's done well. But we're watching him. He's not able to do everything right now. But if we feel that the season starts, he'll be 100%.
Coach, last one, we'll get you out of here. I was down in your neck of the woods this weekend. I was down in Fouchon, and I spent the weekend puking over the side of a boat. I was bad at the end of deep sea. But one thing is for sure is that part of the state, they love Bebe. I mean, it is different. It's a different type of love. Can you talk about the way it was something that you talked about as the recruiting coordinator when you got here and you went out and you got Rashard Lawrence from North Louisiana? You've brought the state together. Being down in South Louisiana this weekend, you can feel LSU. You can feel the love they have for you in the state. Can you talk about that? The feeling you get from that?
They're wonderful people. The Cajuns are a rare breed, and we're very prideful people, and I'm glad I get to represent them. And, they love LSU. They've loved LSU down there when Ronnie Estee was playing. Steve Hobbs' grandfather was the biggest LSU fan you ever met. So those guys are Tiger fans. Now, we just woke them up a little bit because, obviously, me for being down there and the success that we're having. But they're great people down there. And I'm sorry that you got seasick, my man.
That's all right. I'll be back.
Who was it? The Guidry brothers that were from East 39th at LSU? I'll have to remember. I think I'm screwing it up. Coach, last one. Tyler Shelvin. Where is he at? How's our guy doing?
Big T's doing good. Big T is practicing well. He's doing well. He still has some academic work to do. Derek Panamsky has done a tremendous job with him, staying with him all summer. He is in an intercession course right now. We're going to finish it, and I do believe everything's going to work out fine. But his attitude has been phenomenal.
Hell yeah, Coach. We're ready for some football, man.
Let's do it.
Yes, sir. See you, man. Good to talk to you.
Go Tigers.
Yes, sir. There he is, Coach Ed Ogeron, checking in from LSU football this morning. We will close out hour one next, brought to you by All-Star Toyota.
Off the bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
Donaldsonville Glass and Body brings you OTB Daily here. Remember, 415 Division Street, online, dgbauto.com. If you need collision repair, Donaldsonville Glass and Body, ready for you. They're also hiring out there. If you're a service technician looking for work, it's a great place for employment. They offer 401k, paid holidays and vacation, health insurance, online, dgbauto.com.
dgbauto.com, donaldsglassandbody.com. You want to extend the life of your vehicle, DG&B can be your partner in that mission. They have been for mine. And it's why anytime one of my vehicles is coming up on 10 years old now, and she's running like a dream. And that's all thanks to DG&B. I had to go to Atlanta earlier this year. It was making funny noises, not going well. What did they do? They got in there, figured out exactly what the problem is. They managed to get it all done under warranty, meaning that it didn't cost me anything. My purring, I was safe. My family was safe. They are the best. One-stop car shop, DonaldsGlassandBody.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet. And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
At All-Star Toyota, you...
It's a Tuesday edition of Game Time with Jimmy Ott and Ben Mintz. The guys are live at Doe's Eat Place from 6 to 8 p.m. Come say hello and eat some of their delicious steak, or listen here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, my new canned answer for anything or anyone that asks me a question that I don't want to answer, I don't want to talk about it. My mind don't think like that.
My mind don't think that way.
Coach Ed Ogeron, great Tuesday stop here on Off the Bench. We always appreciate his time, as Coach O is getting the guys ready on practice for football school as they move into a practice schedule with right now the date, the start date is scheduled for September 26th. So we'll see whether or not what happens today in college football. We told you in headlines yesterday was a whirlwind of news for college football today at 9:30. The Big Ten or the Big Ten is expected to meet and possibly make a decision on what their fall is going to or not going to look like. So we'll keep you posted here. Derek Stingley Sr. coming up at 8 a.m. this morning. We'll also talk New Orleans Saints football. Alvin Kamara was speaking yesterday on a conference call. As we told you, he just turned 25 years old. He's in a contract year. He's seeing guys around him getting paid with the money that Christian McCaffrey was making. He was speaking a little bit more on that yesterday about talking about betting on himself going into a contract year.
I bet on myself every year, but it's not really, it's just not something that it's never been something, like I didn't come in like think about like, I can't wait till I get a contract. It's like I'm playing, and when that comes, it's going to be well-deserved and it's going to be perfect timing for it. It's just not something that's like on the forefront of my day. It's like, it's not something I wake up thinking about. I just wake up thinking about, all right, I got to do what I have to do for this team to win, put myself in the best position to be successful, and then, with team success comes individual success. So that's what I'm focused on, and that's been my message since I've been here.
It's kind of interesting. I could be remembering wrong, Jordy, but isn't that pretty much the same message and path that that Michael Thomas took during all his run-up to his contract? Like, I feel like there wasn't a lot of him publicly demanding money or stamping his feet. He was very much, I'm just going to go out there.
He did hold out, though. Didn't he hold out last training camp? Didn't he hold out for a couple of days until he got the big contract?
I don't know. Because what I was going to say is that I don't remember there being a ton of drama around all that beyond, us just kind of debating what a wide receiver is actually worth. But it seems like AK, if indeed I am remembering correctly, is following that same path where, look, if you want to get paid, the best thing you can do is ball, right? The money will follow. And so focusing on the contract is a lot of times not in your best interest. And it seems like AK has the right mindset here.
Let's see if we have enough time here. This is the knee injury one. This is Kamara 4 talking about where he is on that.
I injured myself early. Jacksonville week, I tore my knee basically, and that was something I was dealing with the whole season. Had to miss some time, which I don't like to do. Came back, tried to play as best I could, tried to manage it throughout the week. Our training staff did the best they could. Shout out to those guys, because they were working with me. Behind the scenes every day, trying to get me as close to 100% or as close to AK, feeling like myself as I could. And I tried to put my best product out on the field, and sometimes it was enough, sometimes it wasn't, but I just didn't want to let my team down. So at times there were situations where in my head I'm like, I shouldn't be out here, but it's just that kind of urge in me to be like, I need to be here and help my team. What if I'm not in, and it's something I could have done. So
Alvin Kamara. We'll talk more New Orleans Saints with Nick Underhill coming up at 8:30 this morning. We'll get back on college football. Derek Stingley Sr. will stop by here in 5 minutes. Remember your mailbag questions. 8:15 this morning. Hashtag OTB mailbag inside the huddle on the YouTube watch page at 1045 ESPN.
Off the Bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
Secure Shredding and Recycling brings you Off the Bench daily here. Remember, get in touch with Gaines, Garrett, and the crew. If you're looking for Secure Shredding and Recycling, they are the premier provider of document destruction services for individuals, businesses, nonprofit organizations, and government agencies. They offer all types of services like mobile shredding, where they can bring one of the 10 trucks that they have on the road to your office or to your home for mobile shredding. They have drop-off shredding available here at the Baton Rouge location. Off the Bench, if you mention OTB for that hard drive destruction, they will demolish your first 2 hard drives for free online, secureshreddingandrecycling.com.
So it looks like Mike Thomas was actually threatening to hold out before they got that deal done. So go ahead and take that take that I was just trying to create and feed it in that shredder. Okay, just give it a Secure Shredding, feed it to them. They'll destroy it because it makes no sense. If you need any of your takes destroyed, go to secureshreddingrecycling.com, secureshreddingandrecycling.com.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This hour is brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Tuesday, August 11th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see partly cloudy skies with a high of 84. In case you missed hour one of the show, you can catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com, brought to you by Carriages. Still to come, Derek Stingley Sr. joins the show next, and Nick Underhill talks Saints at 8:30. Remember, we have our OTB mailbag today. Get your questions in, tweet them, or ask them in the huddle using the hashtag OTB mailbag, and we'll get them answered at 8:15. Follow today's show inside the 1045 ESPN Huddle app, brought to you by Bayou Ford, on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. Watch us live on the 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. Subscribe. Then get over to the Off the Bench YouTube channel, subscribe, and set your notifications as we post new content there daily. Hour number 2 of OTB starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Hour 2 off and at it off the bench, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN Radio in New Orleans, 94.7 ESPN Alexandria. Online, 1045ESPN.com. We're on your smart speakers. We're on YouTube. Remember, 104.5 ESPN station. any of the highlights that you may feature here between 7 and 10 a.m. on Off the Bench. It's daily brought to you by All-Star Toyota. You can find on the OTB page, just about 20 shy of 10,000 subscribers. Appreciate everybody for interacting and listening and watching and finding us on YouTube. Remember, tell a friend. Daily, if anything you may have missed, Coach O, Hour 1, Coach Stingley coming up, Nick Underhill in the 8 o'clock hour. All that sound brought to you by Carriages of Baton Rouge. Shop Carriages online, carriagesbr.com. Great Instagram and social media, Twitter, Facebook. The discussion of Hour 1 was college football. The news cycle yesterday around college football was whether or not the season was going to exist this fall. Was it going to be delayed until the spring? Coach O was here 30 minutes ago. Those guys are preparing as if it's happening on September 26th when they're prepared to play or set to play their first game. Coach Stingley was here last week. There's a lot of discussions between he and his son, Derek Stingley Jr., who's the best player, best defensive player in college football, and how that's going to look coming up. He's here with us every week. He's the defensive backs coach over the Dunham School. He's a great tutor of DBs here in the area. And weekly, his conversation is brought to us by City Cafe here on Off the Bench. Coach Sting, good to talk to you. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Jordy. T-Bob. Good morning.
Good morning, Coach.
I guess the week since we last spoke is kind of a testament to how fast things move as far as the news cycle goes. We were just giving you a scenario of what if the schedule was moved to the spring. And we talked about that last week. It looks like that is a strong possibility as we sit here and talk today. What has the discussions been like between you and Derek and you and the program, or just you following the news of college football and what it looks like?
Yeah, the news is just crazy right now. We can only go off of what's really to be, meaning we understand that the season should play in September. Now, if that changes and they push it back to the spring, then we have to have conversations. Now, Derek and I and my wife and I, we've had conversations about the fact that if they move it to the spring, we don't feel like it's necessary for Derek to play 24 games in a calendar year. That's just unhealthy. That's just something that I can't see him doing. And if that comes to be, spring ball or spring season, we're going to have a conversation with Coach O and the program. We have yet to have those conversations because as of right now, we're assuming that the season is going to be played in September. But if it comes to that, then the way I'm feeling now today, that my son will only play in the spring and probably forego the fall.
Yeah.
Just because it's just a health issue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I think every parent will probably look at that. I think every coach will look at that and have to agree with the fact that you have to protect these kids. Now, if that's going to be the case, then maybe it may be a scaled-down version of a spring. And if so, that's the part where I say we're going to have a conversation. But the way I feel about it today, I don't see him playing 24-plus games in one calendar year. It's just, no, I wouldn't put him through that.
I mean, that's brutal. Like the amount of recovery that you go through after one of those grinds is done, then get right back on it. It makes a lot of sense. And Coach, it highlights what is the conversation that's being had constant right now, which is all about player safety in the age of this pandemic. So I just want to ask you, as the parent of a player, how do you feel currently about your son playing football this fall?
If there's football to be played, Derek Stingley Jr. will play because we believe in Coach O, we believe in the medical staff, that they would most definitely keep these players' health and safe as the utmost, and they would have these boys ready to play. So, in my opinion, if it's going to be football to be played, and if LSU is playing football this fall, Derek Stingley Jr. would play.
As a high school coach, what is your message to your team and to your parents that are concerned for their kids' safety?
We're going to do all things that's right when it comes to the CDC guidelines and things like that. We're going to try to do the best of our ability to make sure that we're doing the right things on the field and in preparation, like when it comes to social distancing and things like that. if they say that we can play, naturally we're going to play, but we're going to give the parents the ability to see that we're doing the right things and that we're following everything that they say the CDC says we have to do to make sure that their kids are healthy as well. So in my mind, if everything is a go, then we can only go off of what the powers that be, the smart people, the scientists, or whomever is making the decisions are allowing us to play. We're going to do as they say.
What is life like as a coach right now in these times where you're looked at as a teacher and parents trust you with their sons to develop them as football players and as young men, but there's so many outside circumstances now that go into the profession, it feels like, just from a responsibility standpoint?
Yeah, we're handcuffed a little bit, because we can't do the scheduling that we're comfortable with. Like, we can't move ahead. We have to wait on certain things. So that's different, but we have to adjust, which every coach, every player understands you have to adjust during certain times, whether it's on the field or whether something happens to it you have no control over. And something like this, we have no control over. So we have to adjust the way we coach. So we may not be able to have a physical practice right now. So we may have to teach more. We may have to be on the board more. We may have to have plenty more walkthroughs, which is what we're doing. So in my opinion, it's a good thing, especially with young kids. Now they get the opportunity to really understand where they need to be, what they have to do, understand the game of football mentally before they move on physically. I like it that way because naturally when you're dealing with young kids in high school, they kind of can lose a little focus because they're ready to get out on the field and just show how strong and how fast they are, opposed to knowing exactly where you need to be. And the way we're kind of moving forward with things, I feel like this is the best way. And I mean, it's different. I mean, we just have more time. As coaches, we have to adjust the schedule in a little bit and kind of meet more than we want to. But I say it's okay at the moment. Long as we're doing something that's football. So I'm good with that.
Just a personal opinion. A dad, teacher, coach, somebody that loves the game. You think the season starts and finishes this year?
I want it to.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that it does. I think that we all want it because that's normalcy for us. That's something that we all look forward to for this time of the year. And not having it, it's a major void. It's like, what will we do? I mean, we all want it, especially here in Louisiana. And if we can have it, then so be it. Let's do it, and let's not look back.
Coach, so you mentioned that right now you're having to approach the game from a more mental standpoint, and that's not just high school football, that's college football as well right now. So from a coach's perspective, who is maybe hurt the most by that, right? Like who misses out the most out being able to physically practice against each other? Is it line play?
I think so, because most of their play, it's physical, nonstop. It's like you're no more than a half a yard away from one another, or a yard away from each other, and you have to show the fact that you can execute these blocks or you can get off this block. The run game is just the best thing for high school football most of the time, because you get power football.
Yeah.
And if you can't do those blocks, and if you can't show that you can execute it, we can draw it on the board all we want. The perfect play is always on the board. It's the fact that can those kids execute it? So I believe that, O-line, D-line play is probably suffering from it the most than anything.
Talking to Coach Derek Stingley Sr. here on Off the Bench, 104.5, 94.7, 100.3 ESPN. Coach, what about your son, Stingley Jr., camp update? How is football school going? Have you talked to him at all lately?
Yeah, we talk. We talk just about every night. He says just a lot of learning. It's more walkthroughs than anything. They're not in helmets, and I think he said that they can't wear cleats. So, with that being said, it should be a walk-through practice, but sometimes, the opposing players may want to try to be in a more hurry-up mode.
Yeah.
The competitive juices are still flying, but it's more or learning, because it is a new defense, and he's enjoying the defense. He's enjoying the things that Coach Pelini is installing. So it's just a matter of them all getting on the same page. But at the same time, it's all mental. It's just like what we talked about with high school. So this is something good for them. I know that they wish that they were, doing regular practices and fall camp, but we're at the mercy of the powers that be.
Coach, what does learning for a shutdown corner look like? And I know you have schemes, but I just always think back to, like, famously back in the day. I remember Dion used to never even get in the huddle, right? Because it was just like, whoever the best receiver is, I know what I'm doing. I'm just going to shut that guy down no matter what. So, like, what does learning look like for Derek Stingley Jr.?
Well, he has to know the plays. He can't just stand off and not look and just wait for the guy to come out in front of him. I don't know. I mean, especially in Pelini's defense, it's a little different than just straight man-to-man coverage. But for him, it goes all the way back to always being ready to compete against no matter who the player is that you're going up against. Like I said before, when it's him and Jamar, you can see the focus, you can see the attention to detail and all that. But if it's a lesser receiver, I'm not going to say any names, he's kind of like, okay, I pretty much can handle him. And you can see he's a little looser. He needs to be that same guy every time. And then he needs to work his technique, not just try to out-athlete someone by trying to be stronger or faster or beat him to the punch. No, he needs to work his technique to understand if this receiver is giving him this look, he needs to react this way and combat every move that receiver makes. And those are the little things that helps a shutdown corner to be great. And Derek is still working on it. He has to be more consistent with that. He gets away with a lot of things because he's a good athlete. And he can run. He has great ball skills. But he can make it easier on himself if he does the right thing with technique more than anything, especially press technique. Off technique, I think Derek is pretty good. And he's real good at press, but, you get that same athlete. You go up against that same dominant athlete like a Jamar Chase. And Jamar can win, and he can, and he has won.
Yeah.
But, you want to be able to shut him down completely to where, that's why they pay the big bucks for guys like that. He needs to be one of those guys.
So you mentioned Coach Pelini's defense being a bit different than just man to man. What is Coach Pelini's new defense looking like from a coverage standpoint?
It's different looks. It's a lot of blitz looking type deals. They're showing things and they're passing coverages off. They're doing some combo things, press belling from. It could be a man look, then it rolls to a 4 or cover 3 or cover 2. Those things that confuse the quarterback just for a touch. And, I've seen a lot on social media where they're saying, Derek Stingley won't have that many balls thrown his way, because he was this and that. But I think in Pelini's defense, I think quarterbacks are going to throw his way because they're going to believe that they have an opening, that it looks like he's letting a guy go, and then they're going to throw it to another guy. And Derek may be in that area of a flat defender to make the play, or he's already bailing off deep, playing in between 1 and 2, and quarterback thinking that the number 2 receiver is open down the seam, and Derek is on top of the ball. I think it just shows so many different looks to where it's going to be false looks for the quarterback, to where Derek can jump and make some plays. And they're going to play some man, too. They're not just going to be zone, combo, and pass-off type defense. They're going to take advantage of their strengths. And Derek's strength is true man-to-man coverage.
I'm ready for the first pick six highlight.
You and me both.
That pick six. Coach Sting, every week, City Cafe. Always good to catch up with you. We'll talk soon. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
OTB mailbag next.
Off the Bench with Jordy Culotta and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All-Star Toyota brings you OTB Daily here. Remember, get in touch with All-Star Toyota online at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com or stop in and see them. Goodwood and Airline, Lee Carney and the crew, great team over there. Aaron Piku, sales staff. Tommy Wagaspak, who is the service director over there. Get in and see them today if you need a service call. In fact, you don't even need an appointment. You can whip in right there from Goodwood. Easy entrance to All-Star Toyota. Great selections of new cars, pre-owned and certified vehicles. Online, allstartoyota of BatonRouge.com.
Shout out to my guys, Richard, Aaron, Lee, guiding me through that entire purchasing process. I didn't really know what I wanted going in, right? And it was a little overwhelming. And they were able to ask me some questions and kind of guide me to exactly what I needed. And what I needed was a brand new Toyota Sienna. And it's a game changer. The minivan life is incredible, but it's not just minivans. You want a Tundra, a Corolla. They got some great 2020 deals right now at All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet. And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
104.5 ESPN invites you to take a short quiz for a chance to win a brand new EU1000 generator from our friends at Bozeman Distributors. Simply go to 1045ESPN.com now through August 16th and take the quiz to see how prepared you are for hurricane season. Everyone who takes the quiz is automatically entered to win the generator. Our winner will be chosen on Monday, August 17th. Get prepared for hurricane season from 104.5 ESPN and stay prepared with Bozeman Distributors.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Yo, join us for a Tuesday edition of Hanging with Hester and Hanny presented by Richards Honda. Hunt Palmer sits in with us for an hour, and of course we'll keep you up to date with what's going on in college football on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Good, insightful stuff from Derek Stingley Sr. every week here on Off the Bench, every Tuesday. City Cafe. Go see the crew today. In fact, I'm meeting two of the alphas from All Star Automotive, Nick Richard and Lee Carney for lunch today over at
guys.
City Cafe. If you want to stop in and see us, going to get some of the char grilled oysters for sure.
Minivan life is a good life. The only thing is that I just wish that I had like unlimited mess around money so I could put a lift kit on that thing and like some badass speakers. That would be so sick, dude. Think if you saw my buddy actually sent me a picture of it. But think if you saw like a blacked out Sienna rolling along with big old like it doesn't have to be mud tires, but you know, some like big all terrain tires on there. Yeah. There it is. That's the picture. That's exactly it. Oh, damn, that thing looks pretty, dude, with the matte black finish. Whew. But hey, even my non-lifted Toyota Sienna looks pretty. So, also, yeah, a sound system would be pretty awesome in it.
OTB mailbag.
Anybody want to advertise? Anybody?
Every week.
Maybe
we
work something out.
My guy's starting to get the hold of it.
Social media stuff,
Let's
like
go.
whatever you need to do.
Here we go, latest edition.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for off the bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
Lee Carney can hoop?
Can he hoop?
So is he just an animal?
Can he hoop?
That's what it looks like in the huddle.
Him and Jonathan Pixley, from my generation.
Yeah, Pixley's a beast.
Two best white basketball players to come out of Baton Rouge.
If Pixley's knee hadn't gotten
if
torn
Pixley's
up.
knee done, but still to this day will light you up in a pickup game for 40.
Pixley
and
played.
if you open your mouth, he is coming at your ass.
He played with John Brady?
Yeah, at
Stanford?
at Stanford. In fact, Brady brought Pixley here to LSU and whooped up on Dale Brown.
Yeah, Chris Pixley, one of our guys. Shout out.
Okay.
Matthew?
No TP mailbag. When was the last time you wept?
I'm a crier.
I am too. But it was watching episode 9 of Dave, the Lil Dicky show that I thought was really spectacular. But episode 9 like really got to me. I told my wife that, and she's like, "It's not really telling me anything because you literally cry all the time." I did also cry watching the Frozen making of.
I mean, I teared up yesterday when I saw a picture of Jordan's first day of school.
I'm getting old. Gonna have a license in no time.
Him or me?
Him. And you. And all of us.
I just let him take the car to the store.
My old man always
Bring it
jokes
right
about
back.
how
Just bring it right back.
my
Watch
old
the
man-
light. Don't run the light. You gotta wait till the green.
My old man always jokes about just how times have changed because down in Cutoff when he was little, there was a club called the Safari Club, and he remembers being 14 years old, and some of the older guys like, "Come on, Mr. Bobby," talking to his dad, like, "Let him come out, let him come out." He's 14, and my grandpa's like, "Okay, fine, he can go." But he's got to be back by 2. Got to be back by 2. Okay, that's the line. It's like, wow, times have changed.
Dude, my uncle used to let us. I mean, I learned how to drive by my uncle just throwing me his keys and saying, "Take it around town." I'll never forget me and Brandon Bourgeois, my friend, 8th grade. We're at a light on Government and North Foster at 10 o'clock at night, and my stepmom and dad pull up right next to us, and we hit the gas and take off. He calls my Uncle Mark. They're brawling while we're cruising around the city.
Oh my God, I would be so mad at my brother.
When I was growing up,
so mad
Baton
at my
Rouge was.
brother.
It was a cow town, man. I mean, like East Boyd was a gravel road.
Yeah, that's true. You've seen the growth firsthand.
Yeah. Not a gravel road, but it was old.
OTB mailbag. Do you put mustard in your red beans and rice?
I don't.
Is that a thing?
But it
People
sounds,
do it. People
sounds
do
kinda
it.
tasty
I
to
don't
me,
do it.
dude.
I guess.
I mean,
don't do that.
I like mustard and sausage, right?
I like potato salad on top of the red beans.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I don't think I've ever even heard of that one.
Good.
Hey, newsflash! I'm a fat kid, and I'll mix almost anything in food. So, I mean, yeah, I
Me
would do
too.
that.
I mean,
for
I
sure.
think that the best of any type of meal is everything together.
Me too.
Thanksgiving plate, put
Yep.
it all together.
Yep. Completely agree.
Speak, Musso.
Yeah, well, I'm looking here. Give me a minute now. OTB mailbag. If you could live in any era, what would you choose?
That's a good question.
To me, this is always complicated because, like, do I have knowledge of today's times?
No.
Because I don't
You're
want.
in that era.
Okay, because I
You're
don't
in
want to
that
like
era.
know about air conditioning and then go to a time without air conditioning.
Yeah, that'd be awful.
It'd be
or like
awful.
know about electricity and go to a time without electricity.
Yeah, I mean,
have to do things by candlelight. Sounds
kind of
terrible.
the late 50s, 60s being in my prime.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Kind of like late 50s and then like 60s.
Sinatra?
Sinatra. It's
Go to
exactly
the
what I'm
swing
thinking. Danny.
dances.
It's exactly what I'm thinking.
I always-
Suits don't really look uncomfortable Sunglasses and cigarettes everywhere I go.
Indoors.
Hair's
Just-
always kind of it looks perfectly kind of parted.
I don't allow myself to indulge daily because of how much I love it, but I love tobacco. Being able to just blow cigarettes anywhere would have been kind of awesome.
They smoke cigarettes on airplanes and hospitals, man.
And you would have had no guilt because you would have been listening to the tobacco advertising that it was healthy.
I mean, yeah,
it was good for you.
My dad told me that the doctor who delivered me had a cigarette in his mouth.
I always liked the late '70s Days of Confused movie.
Yeah.
I mean that just
That
always
is-
seemed
yeah.
like a lot of
God, I love that movie.
a lot of fun.
The best.
Or
So
maybe
good.
the Roaring '20s, before the Depression, where it feels like
Tell you what,
everything's
Mel Batost is
so
back in here.
advanced and everything's hurtling along. This new thing, plastic, had just been invented 10 years previous. I think that could have been
I
kind
would
of
do the 80s. The 80s
Yeah.
look pretty
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
awesome,
80s.
man.
It'd be like 20s in the 80s.
Yeah.
25 and 85.
cocaine and synth. I mean, two things that are that's fair.
OTB mailbag. What is Jordy doing to get ready for Dick Day?
Now, how's the weather looking? The same way they delayed D-Day. Are you delaying Dick Day? Is there?
No, I'm not delaying.
Okay, so we are on for tomorrow.
We're now approaching mid-August. He said late July, early August. I mean, we're kind of letting him slide on August 11th, aren't
That's
we?
what I'm saying. So are we launching the ships tomorrow? You're the general. I'm just here to relay your message.
I say we go all in. I
Okay.
mean, I say we unleash the army.
There's a little bit of trepidation now. It sounds like maybe.
No, there's not. I did receive a phone call off the record that said that allegations were coming. By a Dick fan. So
We'll see.
We'll see.
Either way, we are launching the ships. It sounds like we are a go for Dick Day. So get ready for tomorrow. We're gonna hit him up on Twitter. A lot of people are not into mustard in the.
Not into mustard?
Not into mustard in the Red Beans. They're acting like it's crazy.
Really?
Oh, well, I don't care. Musa, what you got?
Let's get out of here with this one right here. Oh, wait, I already did that one. We'll do this one. Best place to pick up chicks in NOLA or BR?
Ooh, I don't know.
I mean, dude.
Drifter Hotel?
I think I like this one. OTB mailbag. How bad does T-Bob beat Moscona in a cage match? Or how does T-Bob beat him? I beat him with my fists endlessly. Who's
No
your
weapons?
pick seed? Alvin Gentry? No weapons.
Who would be the best fight on staff? It would probably be
Me and Hester, maybe.
No.
T-Bob Moscona.
I think it's T-Bob and Moscona.
Yeah,
Just on size.
We talking? What are we talking about? Like from a competitive standpoint?
No. I think on a draw.
Are y'all kidding
Because I
me?
think you do murder him. You absolutely
Come on,
murder him.
dude. I mean, if anybody, look, fighting is so weight related that I'm going to have a
Hester's
built-in
little
advantage over
quick
most.
to
But
get inside on.
that's what I'm saying. Hester would be the one that I would not want to fight.
Yeah,
out of
I
anybody.
agree with that. But I'd like to see you pummel Moscona. I mean, you would pummel him in a cage.
OTB mailbag. OTB is the most entertaining show to watch by far, but aren't on CST. What's up with that?
Leslie's got the real estate.
Got it on lockdown,
I mean,
right?
Leslie's had it for a decade.
Woo. Get
Great.
fit.
No signs of slowing.
Get fit with Leslie. She probably doesn't even know how much I think about how I just wish her career with. I'm just kidding, Leslie. Nothing but positive vibes. Love you.
Nick
Love you,
Underhill
Leslie.
talking Saints next.
You do great work.
Off
just
the
jealous.
bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
Brought to you by the Lanois, LANOIX agency.com, 749-5640. If you're looking for auto insurance, home insurance, business insurance, find them at Lanois Insurance, LANOIX agency.com, 749-5640.
749. Well, I don't know the number. LandYAgency.com. LandYAgency.com. Go there today. Look, you're like me. You probably don't remember numbers, okay? You're a millennial. You have cell phones in your pockets all the time. Just Google Lanois Agency, LANOIX. Figure out how they can improve upon your current insurance setup. And maybe you think you're happy. Well, then put it to the test, right? If you're really happy and satisfied, see what Lanois has to say and find out if it is better. Okay? I mean, they saved me hundreds of dollars earlier this year without me doing anything, not lifting a finger. They did it on their own volition because they are always proactively working to save you money and to get you the best policy coverage. Go to LandYAgency.com, LandYAgency.com.
Hi, this is Mike Greenberg, and I am coming back to ESPN Radio. Every day, we will dive into the biggest stories, talk to the biggest names in sports, and be your source for breaking news.
Greeny. Middays at 11, starting Monday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Auctioner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Auctioner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Conference presidents across the Power Five are set to meet. We'll have all the recap and reaction Tuesday. Join us 3 to 6. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, remember, Carriages of Baton Rouge brings back all of our sound every week here on Off the Bench. We get our New Orleans Saints news from the best in the business. He's over at neworleans.football, Nick Underhill. If you have not subscribed or gotten to get that content, you're missing out, man.
Yep.
It is the best in New Orleans Saints news. There's also a fantastic podcast that you can subscribe on Spotify, neworleans.football podcast, if you want to check it out. Nick, good morning. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Also, great to have you back. Marcus Davenport, we were talking about it earlier, and there's a couple of guys here. Kamara is in the news with obviously his contract season and turning 25 2 weeks ago. What is your anticipation for Davenport here, as he said that he is really focused on football here in this offseason going into year 3?
Yeah, I'm one of the people that's been a big believer in his talent. I think the cost to acquire him made a lot of sense. I know a lot of people don't like the 2 first-round picks, but when you're a good team and you're going to be drafting 20, 25, 30 every year, you're just not going to be able to get that pass rusher. So you got to make that move to get him. But I do think his talent deserves it as well. His pressures were really high last year, and for a while early in the season, his pressure per snap was actually running higher than Cam Jordan's. I kind of leveled out as the season went along, and then he had the injury. But as a healthy player, I think he very easily could go out there and get 10 sacks this year, and it wouldn't be a surprise at all. He was at that level last year with 6. It's just a matter of health and staying out there on the field. But, I mean, you watch him, and he's, if you watch week 1 last year and then you watch his last game, like, you can see a progression in him putting together pass rushing moves and going out with a plan and stacking things to beat guys. And the mental is catching up with his physical ability. And I think if it clicks all the way in this year, and from the way he talked this week, it sounds like he feels like he took that mental step. I think we're going to see, potentially a really, really good player.
Yeah. What have you learned about his offseason? What has he focused more on? What has been the area of improvement?
Yeah, so he had a Liz Frank injury in his foot, so there wasn't a lot of physical work that could be done. So he was kind of, forced to settle into, working out, getting bigger. He worked out a little bit of weight to strengthen his lower half of his body, which is where a lot of his injuries have occurred. So maybe that helps. I don't know if that, helps a bone break like he had in his foot, but maybe some of the tissue stuff or other injuries. And then, other than that, it's studying film. And, I know he did a lot of work with Ryan Nielsen over Zoom, them going through, technique stuff and just kind of locking in there and, taking out the ability to do some of that physical stuff and actually get out on a field, kind of forced him to get in front of his screen, which might not be a bad thing considering that, he is a raw player who needs to learn things and continue to get better through those avenues.
Talking to Nick Underhill at Nick_Underhill on Twitter. Check him out at neworleans.football. Nick, I want to ask you about Alvin Kamara. He's in the news, like Jordy said. Contract talk swirling, but he says he's just focused on this season. And you've written about this in this offseason, but can you help give some context as to what Kamara's year actually looked like last season? Because in what you've written, it seems like there was a clear line of demarcation pre-injury and post-injury.
Yeah, I'm not sure people realize what he was doing through those first 5 games last year. Like, he was on pace to do some really incredible things. And, his yards per game over those 5 games, running and catching passes, if you take it and stretch it out over 16, it would have been 1,900 yards. The craziest thing about that stretch is he was averaging 7 forced missed tackles per game. You take that over a whole season, that's like 100 missed tackles in a season. Yeah. Guys don't do that. Christian McCaffrey probably had about 80 last year. So when this guy's healthy, I'm not going to say he's a better player than McCaffrey because McCaffrey's been available and being available is a huge part of it. But there's a legitimate argument to make that he is the most talented running back in the NFL. The problem is we haven't seen it really, at all since the rookie year. The second year he battled some stuff last year. He had a knee injury, then he had a lower ankle injury, then he had a back injury. Still averaged 4.7 yards per carry, which was only 0.1 lower than McCaffrey. But, so that just kind of speaks to how good he is regardless. But, I don't think that we've seen him at full strength yet as an NFL player. His trainer, Dr. Sharif, who puts him through all this crazy stuff, I talked to him earlier this offseason, and he's talked about how he's remade his running motion. So Kamara's actually faster than he's ever been. And all this stuff they do, like, we haven't really seen it materialize. And as good as Alvin was as a rookie, he spent that offseason training for the combine. So we haven't seen 16 games where he's focused on being 16 healthy games where he's focused on being, the best NFL player he can be. And if he can manage to avoid these injuries, I wouldn't be shocked if he comes out and has that 2,000-yard season. And how that would affect the contract if it goes on that far is interesting. If he does that, I think you're looking at, the McCaffrey type money. But then the other side of that is the salary cap because of the coronavirus. If fans aren't out there, it's going to be at 175 the next 4 years. Yeah. Right now it's at 198. McCaffrey signed his deal, paying him $16 million per year. That's about 9% of the cap. So, are you negotiating against the McCaffrey number or the percentage of the cap? If you go down to 14 then on 175, that's, technically the same percentage of the cap as McCaffrey. If you go above the 16, obviously it's a much higher number. So that's going to be, I think a major challenge in all these contracts the Saints do with Ramczyk, Lattimore, Alvin, and everybody else they try to re-sign is, are you negotiating against past figures? Because Ramczyk's going to deserve to be at the top of the market too.
Yeah.
But if you do that, you're eating so much more of the cap. So it's going to be a really interesting time to see how these contracts work out in the NFL. over the next couple of years.
Do you think there's an advantage in the Kamara situation specifically because it is kind of a prove-it year? Is there any advantages to doing it before to try to get some sort of savings?
Yeah, I mean, so usually when guys sign with a year left, you got to give up a couple $1 million to, get that security early, and you lock it in, and then you're protected against an injury. And, as a guy with some injuries, there's probably merit to that for Alvin to take that deal. It's crazy that we're talking about him coming off an injured year, and I think, if we all threw out a number right now, we'd probably come in somewhere around, 14 million.
Yep.
Seems like a fair number for him. And, technically, he's negotiating probably at the lowest point he's ever been in his three years in the league. This is probably coming off his worst season, but his worst season was so good and he's so talented, you're willing to pay him that. So if you went early, you could probably take a little off. If he waits and bets on himself, he gets 16 games. I think he is, talking about it through normal measures here, not the weird cap stuff that's going on. I do think that he could eclipse Christian McCaffrey, but if he gets that injury, who knows what happens? But if he gets that injury and it doesn't take him off the field, he's still at 14. So there's still merit in him betting on himself, I think, in trying to max out. But there's also merit in, hey, I've been banged up and let me get my money now. So I could see it either way if I was him and I was his agent. And, I might roll the dice a little bit and see if you can get through the season and have that breakout year. And then you're negotiating from a much stronger place.
Talking to Nick Underhill here on Off the Bench. NewOrleans.football is a site well worth the sub to go check out and support Nick's work. Another article from August 9th breaking down Emmanuel Sanders' 2014 season to see how he fits with the Saints. So this comes from some comments that Saints coaches have made about how, when you're looking at Sanders' potential impact, you really almost have to look back more on those Peyton Manning offenses than what they did in San Francisco. So, doing what you do, of course, you went back and watched everything. So, what did you find? How do you think Emmanuel Sanders will fit in this year?
Yeah, so the main thing that stands out to me with this, and it's kind of weird throughout his career, that he really hasn't had a whole lot of consistent usage out of the slot, despite being really good from that position. And, getting him there, he's able to get open really quickly and just kind of manipulate, coverages on the inside of the field, especially when teams are playing zone stuff. Like he just does a really good job of getting open and really quickly and beating those guys. In that 2014 season, the thing that stands out more than anything else, and this seems like such a simple thing, but he just hasn't been utilized on it throughout his career, is that he just murdered teams on crossing routes. And he caught 14 that year, had 228 yards on it. 90 of those yards are after the catch. And it was just something that he did so consistently, is just you hit that spot and you cut, and he was open immediately, and then he could, use his legs to get open down the field. And, that's something that pretty naturally would fit into the Saints offense. I didn't break it down by position on the field, but I'm pretty sure that they had 111 of those last year, just crossing routes in general, in their offense. Somebody ran one.
Roughly.
And, well, and it's not so rigid to where it's slot or outside either. Like they bring their route concepts from all over the place. So they'll bring a crossing route from the outside on one play, bring it from the slot on another play. And, the routes around it will be doing the same things, and it paints the same picture for Breeze. And T-Bob, last week we talked about how they create the triangles.
Yep.
It's really more about that than, specifically where they're out on the field. So the thing for Sanders right now is he's working on the outside to master that stuff with the Saints. Once he gets that down, they'll start working him inside. And once you get that down, you can do the whole tree. And I think that's the problem with, Traquan Smith to this point, is that, he's had some struggles moving around a little bit. He'll play both spots, but it's just not fully there yet. So if Sanders can pick that up, they can unleash him and do all this stuff with him. And it opens up the offense a lot more than it has been, the last couple of years without that other guy flanking Mike.
Yeah, and if LSU fans are listening to this and thinking, just think about all the crossing routes that Joe Brady had in this offense last year and just how they killed teams on. I mean, even down to 3rd and 17.
Nick, 60 seconds. Get out of here. The last time you were on the podcast, and you can find it at NewOrleans.football, you were talking about Breeze's arm strength. How much of a concern is it here in what feels like his final year?
I don't think it's a huge concern. They can get by without it. If it does come back a little bit, it opens up the offense, and those safeties got to take a step back, and it opens stuff up for Mike Thomas. if it's not there, they can just run Emmanuel Sanders on these crossing routes and Mike Thomas on his slants, and guys are open all day, and they're still going to win 13 games and break passing or receiving records and all this stuff. So it helps, but I don't think it's a major deal if it's not all the way there.
Online, NewOrleans.football on Twitter, NO.football every Tuesday right here on Off the Bench. Nick Underhill, who's the best at covering the black and gold. You can hear him exclusively here on ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and Alexandria every Tuesday morning with us on Off the Bench. Thank you. We'll talk next week.
Yep, thanks for having me.
Close that hour 2 next.
Off the Bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
Coys Diesel. Remember online, Coys Diesel. You can find them at coysdiesel.com. If you have a light, medium, or heavy-duty diesel truck, they can get you back on the road today. If you need service on the side of the road, they offer 24-hour roadside assistance. In fact, I just logged on to coysdiesel.com. When I do that, the text box pops up. Kristen's right there asking how she can help me today. You need to chat with sales. You need to schedule a service call. You need that 24-hour roadside assistance. All of that's online at coysdiesel.com.
Yeah, look, so whether you got a Chevy, GMC Duramax, a Dodge Cummins, Ford Power Stroke, you want to shop by part, you need something more intensive, like you want them to do the work, either way, Coys Diesel is your one-stop diesel shop. It's right there in the name. So if you have that diesel vehicle, you already know where to go. The 24/7 emergency roadside assistance just represents how they put their customers first. The number for that, if you don't want to go to coysdiesel.com, 647-3699, 647-3699. Go to coysdiesel.com today.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend.
It's a Tuesday edition of Game Time with Jimmy Ott and Ben Mintz. The guys are live at Doe's Eat Place from 6 to 8 p.m. Come say hello and eat some of their delicious steak, or listen here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, good stuff from Nick Underhill. He is the authority on New Orleans Saints. If you're looking for information, you need to log on and make sure and become a subscriber to neworleans.football. Podcast is phenomenal, too. You can check that podcast wherever you subscribe, wherever it's Apple, Spotify, even on Stitcher and YouTube.
I don't know if we've been clear about this, but New Orleans Football is a one-man operation. It is just Nick. So it's almost like a bit of a Patreon or something. So, like, it's just, look, man, if you love his work and you want to support his work and allow him to continue to do that work, that's the best way you can do it.
Remember, the podcast brought to you daily by Carriages. Shop it online at carriagesbr.com. Make sure you are subscribed to their social media, whether it's Instagram or Facebook. You can check them out there, carriagesbr.com. Great stuff today through the first 2 hours. We talked to Coach Ed Ogeron at 7:30. Talked to Derek Stingley Sr. at 8 a.m. We just got off the phone with Nick Underhill. And coming up at 9:30 this morning, Bruce Feldman from The Athletic will talk more college football with T-Bob during OTBOT coming up for the next hour from 9 to 10 o'clock.
Danny, do you want to zoom in on these ingredients right here? I don't know if you can or not.
I am glad that somebody on staff takes the liberty to do this type of stuff, because I would never.
So if you are watching on 104.5 ESPN YouTube, you are seeing 4 ginger ales, a carton full of beef broth, and a fresh lemon. And we are going to use this to honor our pledge from hitting 9K on the Off the Bench YouTube. We are going to use this to, me, Danny, and Musso are all going to drink.
About?
Yep. Team guys, we're a team.
No.
Danny's nodding his head. He's
you
in.
Made
You're
this
in,
bet.
Musso.
You're
Danny, are you in?
Are you in the boat? Matt, are you in the boat or not?
No, I'm
okay,
not.
because
I'm
I've
not
defended
drinking
you.
that.
I've defended you.
I'm not drinking that.
Against Jordy's attacks. I've said you're in the boat, that you're on the squad, to say you're telling me you're off the squad now.
I know.
Musso,
that's
let the
not what I
record
said.
show.
I mean, is he telling me? Is he telling me he's off the show?
Jordy, I appreciate it.
You're at least taking a sip of the beef fizz. So just get your mind right.
I'm not doing that.
So we're gonna do that next time, and we will make it live on air. And then, and we're about 20 subscribers away now. You help us hit 10,000 on YouTube, and this Friday, me and Jordy will try to do a segment while eating the hottest wings we can find.
So
and you get back out of that.
How do you make? I mean, I'll take a bite. How do you make a beef fizz?
Okay, let me look up the exact recipe, because it's quite simple. But it is essentially 2. I think it's like 2 cups of beef broth. And then you add some ginger ale and some lemon juice, essentially. And now you're supposed to serve it chilled. Unfortunately, I don't know that I have ice to put in the glasses. But, yeah, it's 2 cans of condensed beef broth, 1 cup of chilled ginger ale, and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. So I'm just going to go a 2-to-1 ratio on my broth to ale, and then just squeeze some lemon over the top. Which I don't know if we have a knife, so we might have to, like, bite into this lemon and just figure it out.
That should clear you out, man. Get all good and stretched up for Dick Day tomorrow.
That ain't going to be good. I mean, I'm not looking forward to that, but I got Central Plumbing on speed dial, so I ain't too worried.
Whew. Ice with your steak?
Okay, yeah, I guess, yeah, I guess so.
Hour 3 OTBOT coming at you.
I've tipped the broth before, so, like, I mean, you never have? You never, like, saw the broth and was like, man, I want something salty right now. Let me just get a little taste.
Pickle juice.
Hour 3 next.
Off the bench with Collada and T-Bob.
Yeah, you're disgusting.
Brought to you daily by Ochsner. Remember the
Pickle
sports medicine
juice.
program over at
wrong with
Ochsner. 3 locations: New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Covington. Over in Covington, they're on Ochsner Boulevard, Clearview Parkway in New Orleans, and the Grove location here in Baton Rouge. We've been reminding you, whether you're a professional athlete and the elite athlete, or you're just a weekend warrior, ancient athlete, somewhere in between, Ochsner Sports Medicine Institute has what you need to get you back in the game as quickly and as safely as possible. The Ochsner Sports Medicine team includes nationally and internationally recognized orthopedic surgeon, primary care sports medicine physicians, more than 80 highly qualified athletic trainers, performance training coaches, sports medicine assistants, and navigators, all online. That information is at Ochsner.org. 3 locations, all state-of-the-art for you: New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Covington. So all of our listening location, you can find Ochsner Sports Medicine Institute, Ochsner.org.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights.
Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. on Tuesday, August 11th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see partly cloudy skies with a high of 94. In case you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com, brought to you by Carriages. Coming up on OTB-OT, The Athletics' Bruce Feldman joins the show at 9:30. T-Bob's going to drink a nasty beef drink next. You can follow today's show inside the 1045 ESPN Huddle app, brought to you by Bayou Ford, on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. Get over to the 1045 ESPN YouTube channel, watch us live, subscribe to the Off the Bench channel. Set your notifications for new content posted daily. OTB-OT starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Welcome back. OTB, Hour 3, OTB-OT, kicking in. Sorry. Oh, man, had a bad sneeze coming in. It's also having to just fight horrible takes in the huddle. I love my guy, Chris. But he's trying to say that the Saints' offense has been the problem when it comes to the playoffs. If you feel that way, you're just using last year's Minnesota game to influence you to an undue extent. Like, yes, the offense was bad in that game. It wasn't a scheme thing, though. It was more the O-line getting their ass kicked. But if you look, there's the reason why Drew Brees is 8-6 in the playoffs, even with two of the most garbage bad beats of all time in the Minnesota Miracle and the Nola No Call. Should be at least 10 wins in those playoffs. The reason why he's 8-6 is because the offense. Okay. The offense is damn good. Playoff teams do not have the Saints offense figured out. It's just that teams get way better in the playoffs, so the defenses get way better as well. I'm excited, boys. It's Tuesday. I'm feeling good. About to drink a delicious beef fizz made with the freshest of ingredients. I mean, look at this ginger ale. Premium ginger brew, all natural, Jamaican-style ginger ale. Let's go. I'm hyped. And if I don't like the beef fizz, I'll just wash it down with that. I'm kind of thinking I'm going to like this fizz, though. So as you can see here, I've got beef broth, product of Canada. Everybody knows the Canadians are known for their beef. Go ahead and start to pour this thing up. Moose, you in?
No, I'm not in.
You're taking a sip, dude.
I was not even on this show when you made this bet. I was still in the afternoons. I have no part in this.
Yeah, I literally didn't listen to a word you said.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume that you agreed. So right
That's
on. I'm
not what I
glad.
said.
Good job. We have some crazy snack stuff coming in here as well. Kicked off by an anonymous user who says that popcorn dipped in pickle juice is quite possibly the best snack.
No.
Well, my question, I was like, woo! Just smelled that beef. That is a pungent,
stings the nostrils
aroma. Okay, I'm a little less excited now. To be completely frank, that is.
Brian, I'm going to be honest. That smells like pure gasoline.
Unheated beef broth does not smell great. Okay, I've got about half the cup filled with beef broth now. Go ahead and get this out in a second. But yeah, okay, so the only problem that I have with the pickle juice and popcorn take, and I'm a huge popcorn fan, which, Musso, do you want to tell the people what you said about popcorn?
I think popcorn's trash.
I mean,
it's not that good. It's not that great of a snack.
You just hate like fun things.
No, that's
you hate
not true.
life. You just like baseball and boring stuff.
That sounds fun to me.
Too exciting for you.
It gets stuck in your teeth.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
It's a nuisance. Sure, yeah, it tastes good, but not worth the hassle for me. I'll get it maybe if I go to a movie.
Top 5 best smells / feelings in the world is walking into a movie theater, Danny's nodding his head, and getting hit with that buttered popcorn wall that just hits you. Oh my God. There is a 0% chance that I can sniff that and then not end up with a popcorn in my movie. I have a go-to movie order though. As I've gotten older, I've fallen into ruts, right? I go to Waffle House, I get a bacon Texas cheesesteak double plate, smothered covered with a vanilla Coke on this, and then sometimes a waffle on the side. When I go to the movie theaters, I guaranteed we'll get a butter popcorn, medium or large, normal medium, and then a large Coke Icy. I mean, there is something so
icy.
Right on, yeah.
Oh, bro, there's something so classic about that combo in the theater.
Is this an actual icy or a knockoff icy?
You know,
That's
I don't know.
important.
I don't know, to
That's
be honest.
important.
I don't think it is.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think it is important. Why is it important?
Because it's
Are
not,
you telling me that you can see a flavor difference?
No, because not all ices are like, it's one of those things like all thumbs are fingers, but not all fingers are thumbs type deal.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, not all frozen drinks are ices.
Okay.
So, that's what I meant.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
So, yes, it is important.
They do, I mean, generally, I feel like there's just these machines now. So, I don't know. I don't know what, if they are technically icy brand or not, but they're still really good. Sometimes I mix it up, do like a little Coke with the blue or the red, not even really knowing what flavor it's supposed to be. It's just sugar. It's all tasty. Celebrity Theaters, shout out, who I have done commercials for in the past, don't currently. Sales might get mad at me for mentioning, but they do have a Jack Daniels Coke Icy machine that you can have where obviously the kids can't but you can have a Coke. You can just straight. Isn't that called a redneck? Isn't that what they used to call it?
Something. We made them for a tailgate one time in college. Woo.
Yeah, they're good.
Woo.
They're good. But anything that good, it's obviously, you have to approach it with a little caution. You never know. But to get back to the original point, my problem with the popcorn and the pickle juice is popcorn responds horribly to liquid, right? I mean, my old man used to love putting jalapenos in his popcorn, and it's actually a good combination taste-wise, but at the bottom of the bag, sometimes those juices would coalesce a little bit, and the popcorn, you mentioned in the break, it's like toilet paper. Like you put water on it, and it gets soft, it breaks up. I just don't understand popcorn and pickle juice. But if we have anything, we got a snacks tier list as an anonymous user. We do need to do that. If you have any more odd, and Friday will be the day for tier lists. That's going to be Casual Friday tier list, so look forward to that. This guy says, well, movie theaters are a thing of the past now. It bums me out. I hope that is not the case. I hope the movie theater industry can recover from this because, look, you could take Blockbuster, you could take all these things from my childhood, but if you take the classic movie experience and my child is reduced to growing up just watching movies on the television, what a sore. I mean, it's such a weird first world problem thing to complain about, but what a sore experience that would be. Because it was so much fun as a kid, and still is, to walk into the theater, get your snacks, the anticipation of the new movie, the huge screen that you can't create at home. I don't care how good your sound system is at home, you can't touch a high quality movie theater sound system, 4K laser projection on an IMAX screen. Ooh, I miss it so much. I can't wait. That same guy saying, don't knock it until you try the best hangover snack. All right, we'll see. Adam Penny saying, alcoholic drink options at movie theaters made me go back to them more often. I was into it at first. I kind of switched up and I was getting like beers and stuff, but then I just had to pee all the time. And I didn't like it as much, so I backed off it. And then, how about this? Caleb Hatcher saying popcorn and M&Ms. That's pretty damn good.
Melt
you ever
it,
had that?
Melt the chocolate, and the chocolate kind of melts in it.
Oh, really?
Like
Yeah,
mix them together. Yeah,
I guess I never thought about it. Oh, that's great.
It's gooey. Yeah, it's pretty good.
It sounds like you could hit a texture like Dippin' Dots does, where there's a 5-minute period where Dippin' Dots are unbelievable when they're half melted. All right. So coming up on this hour, sports-wise, we got Bruce Feldman, and he is going to we're going to talk about the state of college football as after yesterday. Who knows what kind of state it is actually in. Bruce can give us some insight there as he is a legitimate reporter who's been on the ground floor of all this. I want to touch on the Pelicans a bit just because I like some things that Lonzo Ball had to say yesterday. And I know we're all locked in tonight, 7 p.m., TNT. Who's hyped for Pelly's Kings?
The Pelicans play tonight?
Yeah, baby.
Oh, wow.
You know who doesn't play? Drew Holiday, Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram. And then for the Kings,
That's a shocker.
I believe De'Aaron Fox is out. They also shut down, I'm blanking off the top of my head, their other good. Marvin Bagley's out. So the poor NBA trying to give the Pelicans a platform, put them on national TNT broadcast at 7 p.m. for what feels like the most unexciting game of the bubble thus far. And that is saying something, considering some of the lesser watched games. So if you think the ratings have been poor up to this point, just wait until tonight. That said, I will be watching, or at least I'll have it on the background during raid night. Because, it is raid night.
How's that beef fist coming over there, T?
I just put the ginger ale in. During the commercial break, I'm going to figure out how to crack into this lemon. I mean, I guess I could. No, never mind. Just did it. Bit in. Oh. Just bit into his skin. Wow. It's so bitter.
And oily, too, probably.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. I just thought it would be more like an orange, maybe. Okay, so we'll get some juice in there, and we'll drink it next segment. I will not take my first official taste off air. And then we'll talk some Saints as well. Okay, I got to go. We got to go to break. This tastes terrible, that lemon did. Okay, we'll be back with more OTB-OT next.
OTB-OT. Off the Bench, hanging with Hester and Hanny. After further review and more are all live daily on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube page. Subscribe now to interact with us inside the live chat. Find highlights for each show's channel and get notified whenever we go live.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, Make that thousands of configurations.
Keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as a bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
Yo, join us for a Tuesday edition of Hanging with Hester and Hanny presented by Richards Honda. Hunt Palmer sits in with us for an hour, and of course we'll keep you up to date with what's going on in college football on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Welcome back, OTB OT. I'm a little nervous. My stomach is already not feeling great. I have the trash can with me right here. I have a cup, a small work coffee cup, but it is full of beef fizz, about 2-to-1 parts of beef broth to ginger ale. and then I bit into a lemon and squeezed that on top of it.
Please don't throw up.
Here's the question. Yeah, what are the FCC rules on that? Are we okay as long as nobody sees to throw
yeah,
up?
I think that's fine.
Okay.
I just don't really want to see you throw up.
Whew, I'm a little nervous. Okay, so and then what do y'all think? Should I sip it or should I just go straight for the chug? So I feel like I have to drink the whole cup. So just chug the whole cup.
Yeah, get it over with. Just chug it.
Okay.
Rip the Band-Aid off.
So
type
before
deal.
we do that, let's get to some sound here. Pelicans back in action tonight. A bunch of guys won't be on the court. Lonzo Ball will. But here's what Lonzo Ball had to say about his very poor performance in the bubble. This is going to be a ball one, miss.
So I feel like I let the team down. I know I'm a big part of it. Usually when I play well, we win. And obviously I didn't play well this trip. So we're going home early, and, I gotta live with that.
I like this for a few reasons. First off, I think that I love the fact that at 22 years old and at a team that has other veterans and other guys that you could argue shoulder more of the blame, I like that Lonzo Ball is making himself vulnerable in this way. It's a very vulnerable feeling to acknowledge your failings on a stage that big. And when you are an alpha athlete and you're so hyper-competitive and you're so used to always being good, your natural instinct a lot of times is to get defensive when you're being criticized or when you're playing bad. And to kind of look for excuses or look for other people to blame. The coach didn't quite have it, or our game plan wasn't here entering, or, some of my teammates weren't playing as well as they were previously, et cetera, et cetera. So, that's the instinct. And so for Ball at 22 years old, to shoulder that blame, to readily acknowledge his poor play, and to put that kind of a quote out there, I think that actually speaks to maturity. I think it speaks to accountability. And while drinking this beef fizz may not be mature, it is a form of accountability. So here we go. Are you ready, Danny? Yeah, wait, what are you planning on? What did you think? We're gonna wait till the end of the show? No, it's beef fizz time. All right, here we go.
Oh God.
Taking a sniff. All right, I'm just gonna chug it. Here we go.
Sound effects. Good Lord.
Yo.
That went down smooth.
Beef fizz is delicious.
No.
All that trepidation
it.
for nothing, dude. It's tasty.
No.
It's kind of like
drink it.
It's like a Sprite mixed with a little beef juice.
Oh.
That's not bad at all. I'm not loving the aftertaste. It's a little odd. It's a little odd in the aftertaste, but yeah, for the most part, that wasn't that bad, dude. That was a lot of trepidation over nothing. So there you go, kids.
That went down a lot smoother than
Yeah.
I thought it was going to.
Absolutely. Whoa. Heavy beef aftershocks, though. I mean, I am getting hit with
with heavy beef.
my nostrils. I can just smell the beef in it. It's kind of crazy. I feel like it's coating my insides. Either way, not that bad. Not that bad. A little less good than I thought at the beginning as we get further out from this thing, but not that bad. So, kids, you're afraid to try new things. Maybe it's not going to work out for you. Maybe it's will. Well, guess what? Today, here's your inspiration, okay? Try something new. See how it works out for you. I think actually the hot wings are going to be much tougher than that beef fizz was, which, by the way, go subscribe. Wow, really beefy aftertaste. Go to Off the Bench, subscribe to our YouTube if we hit 10K. Super hot wings on Friday while we try to do a segment. All right, let's get into some other sound from Lonzo Ball. So he owned his poor play. Here's what Ball had to say about just what was off with him in this bubble.
I think the biggest thing was just rhythm. I feel like I was out of rhythm. Really, that's it. I mean, I was grinding every day in New Orleans. Couldn't do the same, during the virus. So just out of rhythm, I feel like.
Yeah. And then here was Ball on overall kind of, because there's going to be a key conversation with the Pelicans this offseason. How much do you commit to Lonzo Ball? What is he worth? Do you commit to him at all long term? How did Ball feel? Ooh, burping up beef. Excuse me. About his first, how did Ball feel about his first year in New Orleans?
Yeah, overall, I think it was a positive experience. I'm definitely looking forward to next year. Started off pretty slow, but I think I got into a groove and, showed the player I could be, before the stop. And then, unfortunately, the bubble didn't go the way we wanted it to, but we'll be ready to bounce back next year.
Ricky Compton, Heavy Beef Aftershocks was the name of my middle school garage band. That's pretty great. I mean, we only played Weird Al covers. He says, yeah, look, the bottom line with Lonzo Ball is that I'm going on the record today. I am still Team Lonzo. I think that the work that he showed during the 60-plus games that the Pelicans played pre-shutdown outweighs the struggles that he had in the 8 games in the bubble after a pandemic, where, as he said, his training regimen and all of that got screwed up. So I hope that Lonzo Ball is here to stay. At what price point, I guess I'm not entirely sure yet. Some other NBA salve around the bubble. So Kyle Kuzma hit a game-winning shot for the Lakers last night, and here's what Kuzma had to say afterwards.
I think Jesus could be in front of me, and I'll probably still shoot. So, I mean, it don't really matter to me. Just got an open look. It's a play that we kind of ran and practiced a few times, prior to the restart. And, Coach had faith in me and just called my number, and I, paid off.
Few things off about this. He hit the shot over Bol, which is why they asked, like, oh, were you nervous? I mean, that's a tall guy to take that shot over. And he said, I take that shot over Jesus. Look, that's a great line. That's a great line. I am not sure Kyle Kuzma should be the one delivering it, okay? I don't know if Kuzma's the one that gets to hoop with Jesus on the court. I mean, you want to talk about LeBron, Giannis, Harden, AD, like any of these players, yeah, they can get away with that. Kuzma, when he does it, it's just blasphemous, okay? You're not that good. That was your first game-winning shot of your career. You've been all right. You're not the reason the Lakers are winning. You're a good player. You're not even an all-star, dude. If you cannot challenge Jesus to a basketball game if you're not even an all-star. He will D your ass up. He'll be out there in sandals moving like you've never seen before. I mean, think about it. Think about it. That man once spit in a blind man's eye and made him see. What's to say he won't spit in your eye, and then all of a sudden you can't see? How are you going to make the game-winning shot then, Kuzma?
That's a foul.
So, no.
That's a foul. That's a foul.
A vet-savvy player will manage to get the spit in the eye without getting caught by the ref. Okay? And Jesus has been at this thing for a couple thousand years here, Musso. So
the ultimate veteran.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he would be all good. Not even death could D him up, okay? You think you're going to shut him down, Kuzma? You think he can't shut you down? Get out of here, dude. So, unfortunately, though, the Lakers continue to win. Makes me so mad. I was hoping that this whole LeBron AD thing would fall flat on its face, although I knew it would not. The question is, though, Danny, I don't know if you're watching this bubble. Are the Raptors actually the best team in the bubble? That seems to be the new hotness as far as the take factories are concerned.
I was saying it since the beginning. People were sleeping on them. Van Fleet is no joke.
Van Fleet, yeah. I guess that's what it is, right? The names, they have a Spurs-like quality to them because their best players are Van Fleet and not DeRozan, but Kyle Lowry and Pascal Siakam, who is very good, but is not like a superstar type of name. As far as football goes, we are going to talk to Bruce Feldman next. If you missed the beginning of today's show, we kind of discussed yesterday's news cycle and how it played into this week's news cycle or today's news cycle. And it's been crazy. I mean, it's been crazy to feel like things were absolutely dead in the water yesterday morning based on all the reports that have come out. And then to see the massive groundswell of support for playing football that came about from a lot of different areas, from coaches, from athletic administrators, ADs, from players themselves. And the players, that's the key piece. That's the key piece, right? Because if you had previous to this, if you had a bunch of coaches come out and it was only the coaches saying, no, we got to play football, that would have been a bad look. That would have been like exactly what it was. It would have looked like men who make millions of dollars arguing that safety precautions be damned. These players need to play because we need to have football because that's how I make my money. But given the fact that this drive started with the players, now all the adults in the room, everybody that makes money off this process, is able to they're able to champion the player's cause, and so that's hard to argue with. And now we enter this weird upside down where, remember, the NCAA just made a rule getting rid of liability waivers, right? Where, because it's kind of it was a bit of an ethical quandary for players. Like, were they being forced into signing these waivers to play the game, arguably making them more unsafe, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? Well, now a waiver maybe looks like the best path forward, or the potential best path forward. And you have players saying they want to do it now. And this is ultimately why something like what the Pac-12 tried to do, where they said the players said they were going to unionize by not playing. I think all of this is proving how hard that really is, because when push comes to shove, people want to play. It's everything you work for. Football's not fun year-round. Football is only fun for like 12 days in the fall. It is only really, truly fun on game day. It's also how you further your career. It's how you potentially make your dreams come true. And so, ironically, because that would have been hard sell. Like I said, Pac-12 saying we're not playing unless we get these things. That would be hard to actually pull off. Easier to pull off is if higher-ups tell you you can't play, and then you unite under that bandwagon and you say, no, we need to play, and from now on we are going to be represented as a players' association. And that seems to be what has taken place, which is just fascinating to me. So, I think you're going to have, and I think the union thing, I think the players' association, I think that is inevitable at this point. And so any NCAA decision makers that are approaching it like they're going to be able to hold back that tide, I think that is a losing fight. And so now you got to start planning, what does that look like legally? How do we make that work? How do we give the players a piece of the pie while still making money ourselves? Like, those are the type of conversations you have to be having now, because instead of striking to form a union, you may actually have players form a union in order to play, in order to work, in order to have a say. Weird times that we live in. Because like we said, players, I think there's facts that would support this. Players are safer in the heavily regimented on-campus situation than they would be at a more regular going to class, going to the apartment, not playing games and practicing football. It's all about liability. How can they figure it out? We'll continue to monitor situations. Talking to Bruce Feldman next here on OTBOT.
OTB OT. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Conference presidents across the Power Five are set to meet. We'll have all the recap and reaction Tuesday. Join us 3 to 6. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
What's going on, y'all? T-Bob Hebert back here on OTB, OT. The Ed Ogeron interview from 7:30 this morning is up on the Off the Bench YouTube. You Google Off the Bench YouTube. It'll pop up. Go ahead and like and subscribe while you're there. Help us hit 10K. We do a little Hot Wings segment this Friday. The beef fizz was great. I would drink another one, honestly. I won't, but I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. Right now, it is my pleasure to welcome in one of the premier college football reporters, journalists that are out there. That is Bruce Feldman, and Bruce Feldman, CFB on Twitter. Bruce, what's going on, man? How you doing today?
Good to be on with you. Crazy times in college football.
Okay, so an insane news cycle. And I guess let's just start here. What is the latest? What's on the docket today?
On the docket, right about now, the Big Ten presidents are gathering. We'll see what they decide, whether they move forward, whether they delay the season, or whether they cancel the fall season. The Pac-12, we reported this last night, the Pac-12 ADs and coaches met with Larry Scott and their medical experts last night, and, they were presented with some really, I don't say dire information, but some pretty alarming and heavy information from the medical experts. Some of the issues that they're looking at also are the same things that the Big Ten has talked about, which is the concerns about lingering heart issues related to players getting COVID-19. The Big Ten has had, I believe it's 5 cases that they know about of Big Ten athletes with this. Now, I don't know that anyone in the Pac-12 has had it, but they are obviously talking about the information that that seems to be going around. I guess there's some other athletes as well in FBS who also they worry have had some heart issues.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then there's another part of it. At least on the Pac-12 side, is they have been told they really would need to ramp up their testing capacities for these programs. Some would have to test daily, which is obviously costly, and then there's a concern about the resources when you're in hotspot areas. So it's really complicated right now. I don't want to predict what I think the presidents are going to vote at either place today, but it's just a lot of heavy stuff that is moving fast right now.
So it's okay. So there's like a ton of different ways I can go with this, but let's go this direction. At the core of all of this, is it actually player safety? Is it more of a liability issue? Is it more of an amateurism issue? Like, where, because the coaches, they're all out there saying that, look, we actually believe that the players are safer in this structured environment than they would be going to school regularly. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think this is really about player safety or like I said, liability, amateurism, things along those lines?
I think it's all that, to be honest. I mean, I do think there are some concerns from people who are decision makers about lingering liability. There's a lot we don't know, and then there's, at one point I had heard somebody had brought up a study in Germany that seemed pretty dire about the potential consequences of this. I mean, just by the nature of this, there is a COVID, a new virus. There's just a lot of uncertainty, and I think that has added to it. One of the things I think that came up last night at the Pac-12 meeting, or came out of it, was because there's some schools that aren't even going to be able to really get beyond the training phase because of the local ordinances and some of the challenges they face. And so, I've had some people, including people I work with, say, well, what's the difference between them being regular students or not? Why is this even more concerning as a football aspect about that? And I said, well, what I was told was what they worry about is they feel like they can control the spread better with the social distancing and precautions of working out in small groups. And one of the things that was discussed in the Pac-12 last night was there's more of a risk when you're doing football stuff in groups of 100, knocking heads, breathing on each other in close proximity, or across the ball, everything like that. They said those are some of the concerns that they are wrestling with now. So I don't know. I mean, I don't doubt that that the litigation worry is a big piece of this because, as you said, they're not professional athletes. This is much different than if we're talking about even baseball players, where there is there's more social distancing involved in the sport. It's more about, the responsibility about what happens around the sport, but the potential for spread. And I think the potential for spread with college football teams is a big worry.
Talking to Bruce Feldman at Bruce Feldman CFB. And so because of that, in terms of, being different from a professional sport, right? If you had a players association where players were empowered to be able to have a say in these decisions, it would mean that they likely have a piece of that revenue pie as well. It feels like football could probably continue like some of these professional leagues are. At this point, Bruce, I got to be honest. There was already a push to unionize in a former players association with the threat to not play. And now, ironically, you have a union and an organization being threatened to form because they want to play, which makes me feel that this is all inevitable. Do you think some sort of a college football players union is inevitable?
At some point, I think. I just don't know if this is the worst possible time for them to be trying to put everything together because all these issues are swirling around and we're in the middle of a pandemic, or it's the ideal time. I did a story on The Athletic that went up last night about Dallas Hobbs. He's a good player at Washington State, but he's not Trevor Lawrence. He's not Justin Fields. He's not Penei Sewell or a bunch of the other guys who he was on a call with late Sunday night as they were scrambling basically to try to merge the two movements. Well, the thing Dallas Hobbs brings is, in addition to being a starting defensive lineman at Washington State, he's a really good graphic designer. So he was the guy they got on the call to say, hey, can you get this done in 30 minutes for us? Because we cannot wait until, if we post this when we think we're going to post it, which is Monday, because the Big Ten may pull the plug. We need this up ASAP.
Yeah.
We want it up tonight. They did it tonight, and for, I think it was probably 11 o'clock your time there, it had quite a bit of impact. It went viral because I think for a lot of people, for what you just outlined, I think there's an interesting twist in the political kind of feel to it, where it's like I think there was a lot of folks who saw the Pac-12 movement initially a week earlier and were like, these players, where do they get off asking for this, this, and this? I'm not saying everybody, but there's a lot of people who rolled their eyes at that. And then when the We Want to Play movement really ramped up 6 days later, I think there was a strong sentiment. And then all of a sudden, when they saw the two groups merge and the Trevor Lawrences of the world are saying, hey, we want a college football players union, it's interesting to see where that lands, right? And I just think right now, because there's so many big issues going on, not just in college, in the country, but not just in college football, that I think it is really hard to predict where this is going to go because there's just so many, name, image, and likeness is coming down the pipeline. I don't think anybody knows what's going to be. I really don't think. I mean, I'm not saying it's going away. I don't want to be the doom and gloom guy or anything like that. I just don't think anybody knows how it's going to unfold because there's so many moving parts to it.
So when you look at the reactions yesterday, it wasn't just the players, or 2 nights ago even, it wasn't just the players coming out against this idea of not playing. It was also athletic directors. It was also head coaches, people that I would imagine are privy to the same medical information that these presidents are. So do you have any insight as to how these ADs and these coaches, how are they responding to the same medical advice that has presidents leaning towards canceling the season?
Well, I think it varies on coach to coach. There are some who are like, listen, you know what, it's not going to be my decision, but here's why I think they should press forward. I mean, I heard Scott Satterfield last night I think it was on SportsCenter, it was the clip I saw, and he made the case, which is, look, we've asked our players to do everything. And a lot of that goes into the social responsibility aspect of it. It's not just like, hey, don't go to parties, don't go to bars. It's also like, hey, don't go to your buddy's house and play Madden. Like things that are, seem normally would be like, oh, man, that's asking, people to be like, it's not like a monastery, but it's like kind of that kind of ask. And he said, and our guys are doing it and they're respecting it. And it's like, I totally get. Like, that was a very compelling point that I think Scott made in that case. So I get that. I think ultimately, though, it's not going to be the player's decision. It's not going to be the coach's decision. I don't think it's going to be what the medical experts tell, and ultimately the conference commissioners decide how they're comfortable with the information they get. And the way I've always looked at it, Bob, is we don't know. We in the media, we only know what we're being told by, our sources.
Yes.
But when it comes to like the schools, like the Big Ten has disclosed more of their testing data than pretty much every other conference. Like there are some conferences and some schools that haven't said anything about, like, we have had, 85 tests and 9 guys were positive or whatever. The thing we really don't know until maybe the ESPN.com story yesterday was, what is the severity of these? Are they asymptomatic? Are there, but the conference commissioners, the Greg Sankeys, the Kevin Warrens, the Larry Scotts, they do have access to know, oh, wait, there was a kid at the University of Indiana who had to go to the ER, or there was a kid at the University of Houston who worries about X, Y, and Z. I mean, now, are they sharing information among their conferences? You would hope, because you would hope that would give them the most information to say, you know what, this is not showing the level of the threshold that maybe we were worried about, or maybe they're hearing from, if you're Larry Scott and you talk to Kevin Warren, which I know that these medical experts do talk, you are hearing, well, they've had some significant issues that they are concerned about. So I think ultimately, I would not want to be an AD in this day and age right now, and I definitely would not want to be a college president, because these are really heavy decisions that they're going to have to make.
Yeah, and I mean, there's just so many different arguments to be made. I mean, you just think like, are your actual chances of getting it better if you are in a more general public setting? Is it higher if you're in football? And then is the subsequent medical care better in football or in a more general public setting? And those are
one thing on that, T-Bob, that I would remind people, though, because this came up for some reason on like 2 nights ago, and I saw a bunch of people saying, well, they're going to get sent home and they're going to this and that. I talked to MAC coaches because they just, went through on Saturday finding out their fall season was getting basically postponed / canceled. They're not sending their players home. They're
they're still going to be there.
They can do all those things. They're going to still have training. They're still going to be monitored. So it's not like all of a sudden they're going to go back to where they were 4 months ago. At least from what they were told, they can still, they still want them there with their teammates and with the team.
So doesn't that get a bit odd then, Bruce, though? Because then how much is that actually changing?
I think the only point to that, and I don't know if this is a great answer, was what came out of the Pac-12 conversation last night, which is we can do all the small group stuff, the social distancing. The part that they seem to be also concerned about is, do we run the risk of it spreading faster if we have a couple of guys with positive tests that we don't know about, or that are positive and they haven't been tested, within the 3 or 4 day gap or the week gap, and then all of a sudden they're doing football stuff, and then all of a sudden it goes from 3 guys to 23 guys. That is the one thing that was told to me last night from Pac-12 folks that is like.
You mean like practicing versus working out in like a socially distant environment? Okay, yeah.
Correct. You obviously played offensive line your whole life. You know how close you are in that setting. Can you get it from like, a practice where you've been across from the same defensive lineman and one of you may have it, and does it spread that way? Is there enough contact for that over the course of a full practice? I mean, I think that's up to the doctors to determine. I don't want to speculate on that, but that is something that I know has been discussed some.
Thank you so much, Bruce. Obviously, a lot of news going to break today. A little hypothetical to end here. If the Big Ten or Pac-12 does cancel today, do you have any insight as to whether or not you think other conferences will follow suit?
I don't think it'll be a knee-jerk reaction to Bob. I think because they already have a lot of the same information. I believe. So yeah. I think what Greg Sankey said. I think they will be more cautious, but they will proceed. And look, let's all keep our fingers crossed on how this plays out. Right? Hopefully it'll be safe and it'll subside. I mean, one thing that you got to keep an eye on here is just. This is a long play. If they delay the season, all right. I mean, as long as we have, it'd be great if we have a season, whether the season starts October 15th or it starts September 15th or whatever, it would still be college football.
Bruce Feldman, at Bruce Feldman, CFB. Bruce, tell people about the new book.
Yeah. Go to Amazon.com. Go, if you're an LSU fan, if you're a college football fan, if you've ever heard Coach O's voice, go to Amazon and search for Flip the Script. We already just finished the last round of edits. It's coming down the pipeline, and I think people will be really into it. If you wanted to know anything and everything about LSU's national title run last year and how it came to be, go to Amazon and look up Flip the Script.
There you go, Bruce Feldman at Bruce Feldman CFB. Thank you so much, man. You have a great day.
You too.
All right, when we get back, wow, look at that. Keegan-Michael Keys on Get Up. Oh, wait, no, that's James Franklin. Never mind. Okay, go to break. We'll close the show next.
OTB, OT. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, We've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Prompt, professional, reliable. If you're looking for a breath of fresh air with your AC and heating needs, call the professionals at Anison Bitter. Anison Bitter, a Rheem Pro partner, keeping your family comfortable for over 25 years.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
Citizens Bank is proud to bring you the Fan of the Week. But during these times with no fans, Citizens Bank is switching its support to the Banking on BR campaign to raise money for the Baton Rouge Food Bank. You can help out by visiting brfoodbank.org or bankingonbr.com.
On it, remember, at Pluckers, if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
It's a Tuesday edition of Game Time with Jimmy Ott and Ben Mintz. The guys are live at Doe's Eat Place from 6 to 8 p.m. Come say hello and eat some of their delicious steak, or listen here on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, welcome back. Real quick here, Pete Thamel tweeting this is what Bruce Feldman just talked about. Update on the Pac-12. Pac-12 coaches and ADs got a sobering medical perspective from a group of Pac-12 doctors last night. Source called it eye-opening. The information on myocarditis made it real, and that report will be released today, along with, according to Ross Dellinger, along with the decision to cancel or delay. So stay on the lookout for that, because that report and the ensuing fallout could have a huge impact on what happens this fall. Thank you to Musso. Thank you to Danny. Thank you to all our wonderful listeners. Enjoy a nice beef fizz on this Tuesday, and we'll see you tomorrow.
OTB, OT.